Hello, and welcome back to the 18th, maybe, session of our Curselings campaign. Uh, I'm the host. I'm the host. Oh boy, I'm the GM, Connor, and playing with us
This has
tonight.
started out really well.
It's so good so far. But we're not going back on it now. Playing with us tonight is Karen, played by Pyro.
Foul tarnished searcher for.
And Dariel, listening in by Norvin.
We will eat the gods together.
Forever!
Silver, played by Tristan.
For the Emperor, I
For
As
the greater
everyone-
good.
Sigma! Morgana, played by Shane.
I don't have anything special. I've kind of just been adding on to everyone else.
Yeah. And Zunkiri, played by Fergus.
I don't care how many times you say my name like that, I'm not taking the two of you apart.
God.
Oh no!
Connor,
Yes.
Dom said he missed you earlier. Scroll up.
He did, in fact, tell me he was not going to be here tonight. I am
You
just
fucking
head-ass.
troll.
So anyway, last we left off, you all had gone into Moonwatch and taken a Knoll job. Paid the Knoll toll, wiped out an entire infested clan of Knolls who had begun to patron themselves from the unending hunger, Femithrax, one of the lords of the underworld, or the Hells, for it sits in the Nine Hells location. After receiving your reward, you all had browsed over the postings and decided that the mercenary mission that you'd seen had piqued your interest, and you had wanted to go and inquire more with the Lord Magrius de Beau at his estate north of Moonwatch. We pick up as you all have gone back to your fort and had a night's rest, and the next day you all have risen and gotten the preparations to go take your donkeys and cart up north of Moonwatch to the estate to inquire about the job. Is there anything anybody wanted to do while they were still at the fort?
Not
think so.
necessarily. We had a long rest. This is the last time, right?
Yes, you all are picking up.
Okay, and then I'm gonna switch around my spells.
Yes.
Do we have any extra metal?
D&D party, have you picked up any extra metal?
We have the scrap of my old armor. My old scale mill.
Can I repurpose that into a few bullets for this pistol that I can't use properly?
Just a few.
You'd need somebody.
dude, I can hand you all. I'm gonna hand you all my 20 bullets. I don't need bullets with my repeater pistol. And my repeater
Appreciate it.
musket. I'll hand you all my bullet.
I don't think you need to change your spells as a warlock, man. I think you just have them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure warlocks are spells known. Pardon?
Have you been fucking up warlock this entire time, or have I been fucking up warlock?
Hold on, I think Warlock's got an optional feature with
Oh,
potions.
oh, wait, option. Wait a minute.
I think it lets them change one a day.
Oh, that. Kill him.
You guys
Connor,
go.
Connor, kill him. Give him
The
T for
Hammer
games.
Well-
of God, Tyr, from 3 multiverses over, sends the strongest throw you could imagine and smites one tiefling.
Merlin sends you one strongly worded weather. Fuck. Ah!
So speaking of weather, as you are going over, it is cold and stormy. You all are getting into the dead of winter at the moment. It is actively coming down, snowing on top of you all. You'll likely be dressed in your winter clothes to avoid extreme cold, as you are in the northernmost part of the continents on this world. So it's pretty frosty, and you would be in danger of extreme cold if you don't otherwise insulate yourself.
Yeah.
that
We
include
should
the
all
robot?
already own winter clothing.
Correct.
Are my
Want
circuits
some.
about to freeze?
You had the option to buy winter clothing before. If you bought some, or if you were immune to extreme cold or resistant, whatever, then you'll be fine for now. Particularly extreme cold. Not wearing cold weather gear, thick coats, or adapted to cold climates. I think Warforged have a thing that helps with weather, but everybody else has bought winter clothing for the first job you all took Fergus or Zonkiri on. So you all are properly dressed up in that in your day to day now, because it's going to be about this cold until the seasons change. So you'll mostly be living in these, which for Cairn is normal. So you all have saddled up Beatrice and Clyde, straddled them to your cart. I can get rid of the governess's cart now for that. And you all make your way north. Not that it matters, I'm just adjusting the party cart position. So, is there anything you all wanted to swing through town to pick up? Anything anybody forgot in the last session that you wanted to real quick purchase?
If we're going into the ocean or toward the ocean, right? The job we're looking at, the skilled mercenaries job.
Yes, that'll take you 2 days
Are they
in
going
this direction.
to? I assume are they going to provide means of breathing underwater, or we need to buy some extra potions of water breathing?
That'll be something to cover at the job, but you imagine you'll somehow or another, either they'll charge you for potions of water breathing or they'll cast a spell on you. They don't expect you to just jump in and drown.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up a spare one of those. How much do they cost, just in case?
Uh,
Hold on. I have an alternative
Oh,
if we are interested.
Uh-huh.
Why don't we all pitch in and buy a scroll of water breathing, which is a ritual that wizards can learn, and then Zonkiri can just for free cast it on all of us every day.
You know what? That is a fair
How expensive
point.
would that be? Because I could just buy it outright for you.
Oh yeah.
Connor?
yeah, so you're looking for a scroll of water breathing, which is a 2nd level spell, right? Or
Third level.
Third.
We might get paid. We might actually get paid more because they might take that out of our pay.
3rd level spell scroll costs. Let's see. They are rare magic items, right? And they're half cost because they're spells or they're consumables. Thank you, D&D, for being so hard to Google. And for whatever reason, I can't remember for the life of me. It's 500 for uncommons, 5,000 for rares, I think, right? That's...
Yo.
Gotta spend money to make money, baby.
It's definitely not right. I think it's very rares or 5,000.
How about we clock in at 3,000? Call it even.
I know there's a thing, a price to make these fuckers. The cost to make one's only 500 gold pieces. So...
Make
Why
it
not?
750.
Sure, we'll go with that. 750.
Hold on. Third or uncommon?
Third cost to make a 3rd level spell scroll.
Yeah,
is 500.
third are uncommon magic items, so it's 1d6 times 100 divided by 2 is the average.
I'm
You're
just
going
gonna...
for fourth and fifth, which are several thousand.
Right. Let's go with 600 for a scroll of water breathing. Well,
Then I would buy it.
so 600 3rd level spell scroll of water breathing. You get it just from... I will say well, never mind. You go and purchase a spell scroll. 600. Zonkiri, do you have the ink and paper already that you need to get for it?
Yeah, that's what most of my money is going into.
I figured. So yeah, you then take the time to add it in, probably in the shop or somewhere with a roof. Very quickly, add your thing of water breathing, and you are able to head north. So,
Hang on. Let's see. Nah, I'm not preparing the spell. Never mind. Maybe another time. Let's see here. No, I was looking into a spell, but I don't have the health to really play around with Warding Bond.
So, queuing up music. Apologies, everything's taking me forever tonight.
Judge him.
You all ride up north. It's a little under 20 minutes of a ride. The path is well worn. There seem to be carts that travel to and fro from the city, from here to there and there to here. You very easily locate the estate of Lord Magrius de Ball. And it's quite an interesting looking home. What you normally expect for nobles is some sort of gray stone masonry walls, perhaps some pillars at the corners, and some large central house in the middle. And you suppose it probably follows that same structure, the same layout, but the materials on it are not that regular mundane gray stone you're used to. Instead, you see these are charred black, almost as if they were not made of regular stone at all. In fact, upon getting close enough to examine, they start to look like basalt bricks, very thick, heavy, dark stone. In the linings of it, there's a faint glow of like a. It's a deep red orange color, and the whole ensemble vividly reminds you of just anytime you've played a fantasy game and you've seen chunks of rocks floating in lava. It has that look to it. The towers don't go in your traditional spiral base. They have a more organic shape. They come not like the shape of a rook would be in chess, but more of like a cone with the circular side as the base, slightly leaning inwards, almost forming with these four pointed in, almost outlining what would be a bubble above the estate. And as you roll up, you see that there is a large drawbridge lowered with a moat. And as you settle up, you are stopped by guards dressed in... Oh! Ah! Rolled over my toe.
Ouch.
I asked the guards if the toes are okay.
Sure, I got the surprise round.
Ah.
Damn mimic.
Sure got the sneak attack too.
Yeah. It's assassin. Ah.
Pinky.
Ring toe finger, so not much better. God. You know when you like the nail gets caught but not the rest of the toe? Just
Oh, that's awful.
yeah, hence the wail.
Ah.
God, my train of thought left with the scream. You are hailed and stopped by guards who are in a similar black charred clothing with these deep red ribbons underneath their clothing, giving the aesthetic to match the castle. You're stopped by an attendant with the... It has a portcullis that drops, though the drawbridge is down. You are stopped and asked, what is the nature of your business? Why have you come to the DeBow estate?
We are here to answer to this quest that was posted in town.
They nod and ask if you are mercenary sorts that are with some experience.
Yes. We have references directly from the Countess herself.
He nods and says he'll wave
The
you through.
Countess or
Governess.
Governess, okay.
It's close enough. I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
He nods and waves to the guy on the other side of the portcullis to raise it and let you all in. And it raises up to about half height to let you all in, and then lowers back down Absolutely beautiful filigree on it. I mean, it's very clearly the home of a noble because even the defenses have had some sort of artisan's touch to make it beautiful in some aspect.
Now, has this is it to the detriment of its actual effectiveness, or is it still effective while looking good?
It looks fairly effective. I mean, from just the sound of it going down, it still sounds like a heavy portcullis, and they're thick bars. It just looks like it looks. It may not be the most secure. A little bit of integrity might have been spent to make it look a little nicer, but it is in no way compromised in the pursuit of beauty. Well, I don't even want to scroll for. Cool. Somebody actually got. Anyway, I'll get into that later. As you're entering, you all have been coming in a sort of moderate snowstorm. As you're walking in, this courtyard is just damp. There's no snow on the ground. As it touches, you see it melts fairly quickly. And you all are mostly on the carts at the moment. And it doesn't look like it's searingly hot, but the ground seems to be heated and warmed. And it has a cobblestone look. A lighter stone than the walls are, so it's not all just sheer black. But
Volcano Manor,
and it has a more muted tracing between the stones, and it seems to give off a little bit of heat to keep it warm. You see that there's a bit of a path that comes into the left to the estate. And it seems to be a cart boarding area, and it has the stables there. It looks almost like a miniature version of what would be a trading post where people would come in a caravan, deliver goods, be paid, and then leave, and then it would be unpackaged and dispersed. It's almost as if a miniature receiving bay has been placed here by the stables.
I was about to say, it basically just sounds kind of like a loading dock that he's got. Hold up, I got somebody calling me.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sorry? Was that a motherfucking banjo? I approve. I approve wholeheartedly.
I thought you were getting invaded by Kermit the Frog.
You've yeed your last haw, Zenkiri.
Recovering from that, you come around the left side of the building. And in the middle, there is a large building to make the proper estate. Not just the walled-in grounds, but the home area. And it's quite beautiful. It's not built like a house shape, where it would have like a square base with a slanted roof. It looks more like it's a modified tower. There is funnily enough, still a square base to this tower, but it has a cylindrical, I don't want to say the word, but shaft that goes up, and branching off of there seems to be a few different wings. And some of these wings extend far enough to where they have posts that come down from the bottom of them and touch the ground to give them weight support. And all in all, this theme of this magmatic aesthetic permeates the entire estate. You see along the tower etchings of silver and platinum, as well as some gold. Not more leaning on the gold and brass colors, the silver and platinum only existing to accent the gold in certain places. And you all go over to the stables where there is plenty of space for you all to tie up your donkeys and cart to leave them here. You were informed to tie up your cart and to head in through the front gate, and that the Lord would be informed of your arrival, and he would receive you inside and take you to the meeting place after you had gone and got your cart situated. So, you all take your donkeys in and tie them up. There is feed there for them in the stall, not put out specially for guests, but more that a bale of hay is probably placed in, or feed rather, placed in every so often, refreshed, because people bring their animals in, and this is just a courtesy that the Lord provides to people who come to him, that your animals can feed for a bit while you're here. There is a statue to the Lord in the courtyard that you pass by. Would any of you like to stop and read the plaque that's underneath it before you go inside? I will go ahead and reveal what he looks like, just because it is what the statue looks like.
Mhm.
Revealing. He is a magma genasi. It is a genasi with parentage of a fire and earth heritage, either both genasi or elementals crossing lines. But
Stuff.
in this case, earth and fire genasi heritage. So, would anybody like to read the plaque?
Sure.
It tells the story of the DeBow family, born into Kenningborough. It's a bit of a star-crossed lover situation where two middling nobilities in different houses, as Kenningborough is divided into 5 elemental classes. Fires, those of the fire house don't mingle with the earth don't mingle with the air. Everyone stays in their own sort of caste, separated by that, but still unified in protecting their city. These two middling nobles, an earth genasi and fire genasi, had fallen in love and conceived a child. It's upon hearing that the child had been conceived, crossing the lines, and that the child would not be born unto one house or the other. It was very strong. They not only became shamed by their families, but the society around them began to look at them as, I don't want to say outcasts, but they knew the upward mobility they could gather while having a child of different houses was severely limited, and if they ever rose at all, they became a blight on the face of their families, and not only affected themselves, but their families would have trouble trying to advance and garner respect. So they decided to take their child and leave, having nothing but the company of themselves and their knowledge of nobility. They chartered a boat onto Leoteth and traveled town to town trying to find a place. If a paragenasi is what I'm describing, then yes.
A person with 2 elements, either born from 2 Ganassi getting together, or just a Ganassi falling into something they shouldn't have fallen into, a la Joker.
So yeah, they traveled town to town trying to find a place, and it was only and they more or less came across a representative of Moonwatch who told them about their city and the gifts they could offer, and they figured they may as well give it a try. They rode back with this representative and had built a noble house here, as there had not been any at the time, or there had been an opening really for them to slip into. And so they built this noble house. The father and mother have since passed on. Unfortunate accidents. I hate that he said Joker, because now all I'm hearing is Bruce and Martha Wayne. But
Yeah. Because they have a butler. Really old
yeah,
butler.
he's a noble.
A really old one that's like a father.
You're making me think that this is Batman Joker somehow. But they had passed away from a magic experiment and ritual gone wrong. Both died in the same incident and left their young son at the time. This is towards the end of the plaque. You're getting all this extrapolated from. It's written in a praise way of praising the young lord who took his parents' inheritance and built something greater. The end of the plaque details that he became a transmuter at the school of Moonwatch and has become a renowned figure amongst higher circles in Moonwatch.
I have a question.
Yes.
His parents killed in an alley by a bandit.
Yeah.
You're allowed to make this joke. No. It does not say what killed them, but You could find out probably from people in town, as it would have been big news. But I will tell you, it was not a bandit in an alleyway.
With crossbow.
Give me a time machine and I can make it so.
No, please.
Beat it up, Connor.
Mhm.
Good news? The question mark? That flight I told you about?
Cancel?
It got delayed.
Oh, does that mean you'll be here longer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Kneel
well,
before
hope
Zod.
hope your sister makes it to you all right.
Definitely not my sister, dude.
Was it not?
I'm not that kind of hillbilly.
Oh god. Did you say girlfriend? Whoops. Yep, you did.
You told me it was a sister. You fucking goblin.
Had you said that to Fergus previously and he just didn't correct you?
No, I'm talking to you, Connor.
Oh.
You
I was
told me earlier because he wasn't gonna pick up his.
I guess I just imagined.
You had a stroke today, Connor. You go get some water. Stand up real quick.
You know what it was?
Go get some fucking water.
Remember what I was working on earlier today?
Oh,
fuck.
is that what fried you?
Oh.
Get some fucking water. You know, hang on. We're all taking a 5-minute break. Go get some
No.
water, Connor.
I've got a
I'm
drink.
getting up
I've got a drink
your
right here. I'll just take a sip of it now. But yeah,
Do so.
I apparently fried my brain and I've gone too far in the deep end.
All right, world builder, sit down.
Not that kind of banjos, Connor.
Where was I? Stepping into the estate. There are. You see these beautiful obsidian shard statues. 3 on each side of the stairwell, 1 at the top, bottom, and 1 midway up. And you get to the front door. Large, dark wood, heavy iron knockers. Do you all go in? Or did you want to snoop around the estate anymore? There are guards on either side of the door. But you all have ways of being stealthy should you choose to. Speaking of stealth, those who are not here are back at the fort doing, once again, nondescript maintenance things.
Why is my token bigger than everyone else's?
Because you're big. I deliberately made
Are
yours
we
slightly bigger because you're like 7 feet tall now.
I thought we were here just for a.
Yeah, why were you trying to sneak in?
Oh, I was just saying if anybody wanted to snoop around before you went and met the guy.
Oh,
Okay.
he's
so-
kind of your lawyer. We only start doing that when we can bullshit our way through it.
Okay.
What
So
kind
you-
of rogues and rapscallions do you take us for? We are honorable men.
rogues and rapscallions, exactly.
Yes, no.
Well, we don't actually have a rogue, so.
Well, we have like 1/16 of a rogue guy.
You got a hand.
In his rogue.
So you all knock on the door,
rogue.
and the doors open to you. And standing there, you see, in fine clothing, the Lord Magrius de Ball, staring at you all. I was told I had mercenaries inquiring about the job. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lord de Ball, and extends his hand for a shake to each of you.
Yes, Karen will look at him, of course, and will shake his hand.
As shown in the picture, you see that he has largely warm brown skin with swirling. They almost look like tattoos, and sometimes, but they might be natural birthmarks. That gives this appearance of magma breaking between plates of rock. He also has those deep red color where the whites of his eyes should be, and orange eyes and irises and pupils to match the tattoos. Come in. Please, join me in the dining hall, would you? I'll have food brought out to us as we discuss. I heard that you had references from the governess Cromwell herself. Is this true?
Yes, we recently got off a job for assisting her all the way to her. What was it called? A conference or something?
The
Down-
Leoteth Congressional Ball.
Right, we were guarding her to the Leoteth Congressional Ball and assisted with some minor political dealings. So, we're What's the word? Flexible?
That's quite good information to have. Of course, I'll be confirming this with her post haste. And as he snaps, a familiar
sure?
apparates out of seemingly soot and fire, flashes above his shoulder, and resting there is a raven. It does appear to have a small knitted vest on it as well, of the house colors.
What was our group name again? The Weirdos?
That's what you all said.
I said none of those
Yep.
things. I did not consent to
Nah,
this.
I was the one
We're the
that made
weirdos.
it up.
Yeah.
Now, and he is drawing out a small slip of paper.
Technically, I didn't tell you guys the name. I've only told it to the mistress.
Oh, this will be great then.
He's about to ask as he's saying, now, what is the name your group goes by, should you have one? Or do you just go by your individual names?
The spotlight lands on Silver. Your time is now, my son. Do it now.
Yes. What did I... What did I... Oh, crap, someone's calling me. Be right back, real quick.
Let's assume he tells the Weirdos. Or do we want to wait for him to get back?
Interesting.
Wait until they get back.
We'll just give him a minute to get back, especially since we're not hoofing it for Fergus's sake at the moment. Although I say that
Airlines suck.
they do.
Which flight are they taking?
Hell if I know.
Okay, because it sounds like that's a Delta flight right there.
Isn't Delta the one that had the heart surgeon beat up and dragged off the plane?
You see,
Oh,
Pyro
Was it
has this
United?
thing where at least one company from every major aspect of things that people have to deal with, he hates really bad. Like
I do
Molten
because they fucked me over really
And
bad
Molten?
once, and they deserve my ever living ire.
and Games Workshop.
Games
Get
Workshop
it, Shane.
deserves it. They deserve it.
You might have a point on the Games Workshop part. I mean, don't sue us, Games Workshop. We love you.
Let's do my OC.
Well,
We mentioned their company, they're gonna steal all of our
no, oh no.
livelihoods. Yeah.
Just don't say the D word.
Oh, is that infringement? Oh!
Well, I'm just going to take a step
Okay.
forward. Assuming Silver's not there, see he's not muted. Yeah. You all Helen group name.
Oh,
I am back, I am...
So you
Sorry
were saying
about that.
the spotlight pans to you asking about the group name.
Yes. We are... Did I actually not write it down? I know I wrote it down on roll 20,
the weirdos.
but... I know it's the Weirdos, but it's an acronym.
Oh, for the love of fuck.
I believe it was... We are the world...
World
we
Explorers
are the wandering
investigating.
Wandering Explorers investigating regional disturbing origins.
Weirdo.
Yeah. You're weirdo. And
Yeah,
that makes you the weirdos.
we're weirdos.
All capital letters
Yes.
except the S. You say that to him, and you see the raven clicks, and then opens its mouth and repeats exactly what you said before. Just interesting. And the governess knows you by this name?
Stares at Silver.
Yes, I made it. I told her that's what our group name is.
Apparently, she's one of the few that does know that name.
The bird hops down to his two fingers he has sticking out. and
Technically, the hag called us weirdos after all. I just thought it was.
That's just Crouping being a dick.
Yeah, not an inaccurate description.
But still.
Zenith, you see the noble just addresses as familiar. Would you be so kind as to inform the governess of these individuals and ask her to confirm what they're claiming? It just kind of trills and then flies off.
You're really
Towards
good time
me.
for the Prochorus to fuck us over.
No, I have no idea who those people are. Kill them now. Just
They're wanted criminals. Kill them.
well,
Then we get to play with siege weapons.
while we wait for your background check to go through, join me in the dining hall, as I said earlier. None of you are allergic to pheasant, are you?
No.
No.
Wonderful. Please, come,
Not
have a seat.
I know.
And as he snaps, boom,
Actually,
message-
it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite things to eat.
deception check?
When they're alive, perhaps.
Here's the thing: is
I think he said pheasant, not peasants.
peasant was what Zonkiri heard.
Beautiful.
They wanted to eat the rich, so
This
I ate
guy
the
has
poor.
made 0 enemies in his life, just letting us wander into his place and invites us instantly to go
Oh,
eat in the fucking
I would like to make it clear, you all are in a wizard's tower at the moment. He
Yeah,
has
this
little
one-
fear of you trying to hurt him here.
This man's got lair actions.
So you all travel in. It's a large cylindrical place, and you see there's a large spiral staircase that goes up. And you all go up to the second level, and he snaps his finger and casts Thaumaturgy, and the doors swing open to the dining hall. Please, join me. And as you step in, it's beautiful. You hear the sound of music, much like Vixera is playing, just serenading through there. And as you step in, you see some animated instruments starting to play as he crosses the threshold.
I would like to declare that since we knew we were coming here, I have gloves. Because I don't know if he plans on giving us silver or not.
Silverware, perhaps.
Yeah, so I'm wearing gloves.
Uh,
Professionalism gloves, yes.
you see what's normally a single set table. He does a wave of his hand and kind of points one at his chair, and then places his other hand next to it, and kind of looks like he's stretching something between his fingers, and the table elongates, and every so often a chair apparates until there's enough for you all to sit around. You all are fine with a long table, or would you prefer a round?
Long is fine by me.
Good. He goes and sits at the head. Who would like to sit at the other head of the table? It's not too far to talk, because there's.
I think you know the answer to that question.
I think it's Sankiri, but I could hear an argument for Morgana or Andariel. I don't think Karen would.
The fact that Fergus laughed should answer that question.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's Zonkiri, but
I'm
I
not
think we
saying
all.
I'm the leader, but I'm just saying these fuckers would be dead without me.
But I'm saying we all know who has the highest opinion of himself.
Yeah, that's what I was going.
Yeah.
And Dariel's gonna do her best to sit as far away from Zankiri as possible.
So
Karen
right next to
will
the
do
wall.
his. Again, Karen will do his very best to sit in a direct line of sight between Andariel and Zankiri.
So you
given
sit
he's-
next to her. Got it.
Yes, he pretty much. He's blocked her entire view because he sits down.
This is important. We gotta map this out. Where's everyone sitting on this table?
For the love of God.
Lower right corner, lower left corner, rather, folks. I'll draw a table.
Give us a table,
I
Connor.
put one under Leotez.
My
for me.
version.
Yeah, that's where I'm putting it.
I meant the name.
That's not
on
really
the-
a long table, that's a square table.
I'm adjusting.
Untalented DM. Go to art college.
instant.
Rocks fall.
Not even a moment of hesitation.
Did I make it? I did not. So,
He has
Yeah,
that
he-
much presence. Oh, do you want to be there, Kimokana?
No, she's behind you both.
Oh, you're just standing?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I would like to say right now, my thing.
I like to say that
I-
rat is under the table.
I made it very clear. I was like, I got the thing at 7:30. I can't help with anything you want, Mom. I'm gonna be busy at 7:30. I just got a text. Can you take a break soon? I need you to take two things and set them outside for me.
Everyone that's and the party is at the
You'll not take a
camp.
Yeah.
Well, now the symmetry's all off. Morgana, sit down over there. Do it. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. You're ruining the symmetry.
He was gonna just shorten the table if you all. Just, probably would
Please do
anyway.
it.
Just.
You fucking gargoyle.
It
Fine,
absolutely countered.
You know what? There we go. Now it's symmetrical.
He's not shortening it again.
And Duriel will motion for Morgana to sit down. And sit.
Morgana will look slightly disappointed and sit down.
So,
I thought you'd have a more strategic mind, Andariel.
give me 2 minutes. I have to run and set something on my porch because family.
Run! Flee! I'm gonna take this time to use shit.
Look.
So Dat Rat and Katira are at the camp, right? Or at our fort, right?
Yeah.
I am back. So,
Welcome back.
yes, that right in Moga, and any player who's not here is at your fort doing landscaping. Essentially, is what I have in my mind. Is that it is left to go to ruin, and so they're trimming the grass, cleaning out the cobwebs, etc.
I think that rat's digging holes.
The first thing I thought of when you said that was Katira holding Dat Rat like a fucking lawnmower.
I'll let your imagination wander. As you are sat around the table, in floating out seemingly, comes trays of food come and get set on the table. The pheasant, side dishes, and yes, silverware. So, Zonkiri, I'm assuming you would have gloves of some sort as well.
No, he just mage hands it.
Ah. And there is no issue. It does singe a little bit if you put anything in your mouth, but same goes for you, Karen. Unless you're, like, flinging it to yourself. Silverware. Just saying, it's placed in front of you, and should you decide to eat, it'll singe your lips just a little bit when you eat, and you might have a blister after a whole meal, but it's not gonna like loudly sear and give you away.
What?
You know, like a metal allergy. Morgana, the nearest thing to you, I'll let you decide. Would you want to rip off a leg of pheasant or just grab a thing of like side dish?
Leg.
Ripping
a handful
off a
of green
pheasant.
beans. Grab a handful
Because
of
she
green beans.
strikes
in
us
my
as the
shit.
vegetarian. And you try to eat it, you said, Shane?
Yep.
You have teeth, or at least facsimiles of one, and you do rip into it.
There's Morgana's investigation of 11.
Oh. What were you trying to gather?
Trying to see if she could understand what people are doing it for other than nourishment, because it looks all fancy now.
You take a bite of...
I'd argue that'd be insight.
Yeah. Investigation, insight. It's come to my attention that pheasants are quite small.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know why I pictured them like peacock size.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
That is and a very audacious creature.
We could be eating peacock.
Or, this is just the first
Aren't
course.
pheasants smaller than chickens?
Yes,
Yes.
pheasants are quite small.
Maybe it's a, hang on,
Zancuria
hang
is
on.
right. This could just be the first.
Much like if you had bring a dish of Cornish game hens, everybody has one of their own. So everybody has a pheasant.
You know what it is? It's a dire pheasant, Connor. There you go. Solve the problem.
Yeah, there we go. Dire pheasant. Problem solved. But yeah, you all will each have a pheasant placed before you, and then side dishes along the middle part. I did not go to culinary school, so don't expect me to just ad-lib what pairs well with pheasant. But it's beautifully cooked, and the sides pair with it wonderfully. So,
We believe it goes somewhere.
you swallow the chicken, or the pheasant, attempt to.
Yep. It's trying to mimic everyone else.
Is this on my end, or is he messing up?
What?
That's your end.
Okay.
You attempt to swallow the chicken, or pheasant. It's in my head now. You said swallowing the chicken, getting printed. It seems to go down, and eventually finds a place where it rests below your sternum.
And Daryl will eat.
And do you think it's? You don't know if it'll digest, but it's there now, Morgana.
It will be suitable for us to check later.
What'd you say?
What did I say?
Yeah, you broke up for me.
Morgana said, it will be suitable for us to check later on the progress of this.
I will help you if you want.
As you're eating,
Might need a good cleaning.
the Lord goes through about half of his meal. He goes, now that we've filled our bellies, at least partially, let's discuss business. As flying back through the window is the raven, Zenith. Perks on his shoulder, opens his beak, and you all hear, yes, I am very familiar with these weirdos, and I can attest to their ability. They are highly rated in my eyes. And then closes his beak. Thank you, Zenith. Waves his finger and disappears. Well, your recommendation came back clean.
You drink this. It's the answer to the poison I give you.
Now, the endeavor I'm looking to hire you on for would take at least probably 5 days. 2 to travel there, 2 back, and at least 1 full day of delving. Are you all experienced in physical combat?
We are built for such.
Yes.
Quite a bit.
Not in the least.
Yeah.
I'm just a healer.
I'd like to show you something. And as he snaps, the kitchen door, or the dining room doors, close, and you hear the locks. This is a prized possession of mine. And he holds up his wrist. You see this, it just passes as some sort of glass-looking bracelet that spirals around from his elbow to his wrist. Very stretched out, though. As he waves his hand, it kind of slinks up and just looks like a regular-sized bracelet. And then it continues to slither, almost like a snake, into the palm of his hand and coils up into a ball before becoming a perfect sphere. This element that I have here is the object of my interest for this endeavor. I had discovered it on a separate treasure hunt, if you will, scoping out the seas around us. As you may know, or may not, the surrounding seas around us are home to many a ruin some existing seemingly before terrestrial life could settle here. And it's a mystery to most scholars as to where these things come from. It's not unlike the summoning circle in Moonwatch. These sites that predate our settlement here on this planet. They're perplexing and often home to many powerful and valuable objects. This would be one such item. I had been scavenging the seafloor with the crew. Very small, about 3 other people, not including myself. And we had happened across a heat vent, and we thought it was just a fissure where gases would erupt up from the core and warm the waters. But upon looking in, we saw that there was in fact some sort of glowing object. Not just a magmatic flow, but there was some structure underneath this crack, like something buried had caused pressure to break up and release. And after some underwater excavating that took some time, we came to find almost like a cube, like a room with one wall missing that we swam in through. And we saw this inset in some device that drew power out of it and charged this room. Now, while in it, we had triggered a trap that had began to superheat the water and began to burn all those who had dove in and drove the other 3 out, except for myself. But this simple-looking mechanism also had enough complexity to warm the water in circling fashion around the room and seemingly absorbing heat on the opposite of it to create a funnel, push the currents to drive me out. It took longer than I care to admit, but after pertaining some wounds and burns, I managed to pry this from its stone. And the oddest thing happened. I had cast water breathing as I had every other time, but upon contact with this object, the magical glyphs that just ensorcelled my body to allow me to breathe water when I normally cannot began to fail. At first I thought it might have just been the end of spell. Of course, all have a duration, but I noticed later that the pattern in which it failed is I felt the magic almost melting away off of me as I held this stone. It had this effect, and this only came to me recently as I had gone through some traumatic experiences in recovering it. My memories were not all accessible to me. My crew had refused to continue adventuring with me after that state I put myself in, and after resurrecting me on the deck of the ship. I had then begun treatment to recover from my burns, and that included some special memory recounting that helped me cope with the physical trauma of it and recover faster. But in this recovery, I discovered the melting property this had. I had found it in a sort of jagged, almost broken-looking shape. And I had initially thought it was a part of some greater magical mechanism. However, such is the case with most magical items. The form it is enchanted in is the form it must remain in. You can't simply grind up a broom of flying and expect it still to fly. It must maintain its form. However, this object can be, and as he stretches it almost like Play-Doh, but you look at the gloss of it, and it must be some dense crystal. And you imagine his transmutation knowledge is what allows him to manipulate the properties of it. It should not be able to do these things, and still, and as he flicks his wrists while holding it, it begins to glow red hot. And you see that white light, like a burning it, like a light bulb element just lit up. It should not continue to have its effect as he continues to move his wrists and alter its shape. it implies that the nature of this object has this spell melting property. This has been my obsession for the past 2 months. And I've gotten fairly skilled. It starts cooling down and he puts it back on his wrist. It's become my obsession to understand how it does this thing. And I've talked to many diviners, oracles, artificers. None have much clue what gives it this nature other than the material has this melting property that transcends normal physics, even so far as separating alloys into their base components. Purely, any impurities would be left behind in the initial spot, but I took an ingot of bronze and split it into copper and tin using this stone, and the impurities that had made their way in remained minute concentrations in the initial ingot's position. Now, you may wonder what any of this has to do with this endeavor. I'll tell you. I had sent out a scouting ship to try and locate any similar energy signatures to this one. Anything reminiscent of it. Any posters, pictograms, paintings that depicted what this is. And we found something. A larger structure picked up from divining objects. Not too far from the initial site where I found this. Only about a day's extra travel out towards sea. A large structure that extended from the seafloor down. And what was interesting is that as we continued to try and scry, this melting effect continued on any scrying nodes we sent in. Any arcane eyes, scries, even familiars began to have their magical matrix melted. And I would like to charter you to join me on an expedition to recover whatever it is that remains in those ruins that mimics this effect, and help me understand what it is. Perhaps understand how to make them. So, any questions, weirdos?
Air just blinks. And he blinks again.
You all did very much just see a wizard get to talk about his obsession in the most manic, fanatical way he could.
Knowing what Care knows, he just looks at him for a second, then just slowly turns to our wizard to see how that stacks up.
From what he's described and what Zankari has seen, does Zankari have any ideas as to what this particular I'm looking for the right word. It itself, it's metal, but it's not. He's the one making it change form, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not like a liquid metal.
Right, it is a crystal that he can affect with his transmutation magic to alter its properties, to make it stretch like slime and then hold its shape and return to crystalness.
Okay. Does Zankiri recognize or have any ideas as to what this might be, or...
Give me an Arcana check. Just watching his demonstration of it, it might have sparked some things in your memories and mind, just on what it could be. Just give me an Arcana. Let's see if the curse maintains.
Reach. I'm too far away to provide guidance. No!
27.
Never mind.
You think back. You're a wizard. Matters that can cancel or destroy magic are of the utmost severity to you. Something that can unmake something you've done magically is the biggest threat you could face in single combat. So you start mulling over your mind of all the instances in all the worlds you've come across things that do anti-magic, and this doesn't quite ring to you as anti-magic. Most anti-magic you know of is a it's a gap. It's a place where the weave is suppressed. This is... It would be like taking the code from a computer and just deleting select ones and zeros out of the binary until it all falls apart. It's just... It melts your spell glyphs and the runes that bind your spells together until it fails. It strikes you a little bit like how you understand some wild magic goes, but it strikes you as odd to find a substance that's capable to, seemingly at will, produce this effect. It seems like something very strong that has to be designed, or, you know, made on larger scales. To find a crystal that can be molded, that its nature, much like having uranium would be radioactive. This thing just is a thing that melts whatever it can be affected, whatever it can affect. Magic, materials, etc.
Wait, then how's he molding it?
Saw it had an inactive state on his wrist, and he's activating it to melt things.
Okay.
From the story, it seemingly was on in the machine, and when he pried it out, it turned off. So he has theories that it could be a battery, a power, or it could be the power source. It's what he's been looking into on why it does these things, why you can turn it on and off, where it comes from.
Okay, so what this Connor, this is the idea Zonkiri is getting. Tell me if this aligns with what you're thinking for this.
Mm-hmm.
So, if what you were talking about, ones and zeros on a computer, what it's making me think of is if spells are small, like devices, cell phones, things like that. This is some sort of naturally magnetic alloy that, when energized, produces a magnetic field that, to a device like that, overload or erase. It would demagnetize the parts of the device that are supposed to be magnetized.
Yeah. Pretty much that.
And it's that, but with magic.
Yes, and then it also seemed to extend to physical things like alloys. It could melt and separate them with a little bit of extra glyphs. That was the other thing. He was able to cast with it without his spells breaking down. Whoever held it could control what it affected by this nature.
Okay.
So you've definitely caught on why a wizard would be fascinated, especially a transmutation wizard.
Yes, it's the ultimate distiller.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could make heavy magic with this.
Heavy magic being...
Very complicated thing I will get to later.
Okay.
Suffice to say, it's what happens when you turn magic solid.
Oh. Interesting.
So, while Zankiri's having this entire thought bubble turning into the fucking math meme, my imagination is that the artwork in our minds has changed from everyone in the party just turning more and more chibi and just like less and less detail, and then the math bubble explodes. We're all destroyed. My brain vacated the premises through the entire conversation. I am big dumb.
Would you like to say anything? I would say also use silver. If you wanted to make an Arcana check to understand everything that he talked about, it definitely also picks your brain as an artificer of this substance is something you don't recognize. Andariel, you don't quite... I mean, you understand what he's saying. You're intelligent enough to get that, but you don't understand the how. You know it can do these things. You know it's rare, but you don't know how. So you understand everything that Zonkiri said, with a bit more of an artificer's bend. You are more hinged on the parts where he describes it as acting as both a power source and a battery. It can summon up its own power. He's not having to evoke anything really into it other than like a pilot light. He just gives it a spark and it fills itself with its own energy, and then he can snuff it. your mind is racing and all the potentials you could do with this, and you immediately think it might be some form of electrite, the crystal power sources of the set of the realms. But electrite is a very delicate crystal structure, and if you attempted to warp it in the way he does, it would collapse and explode on itself. So that immediately starts to rule it out of your mind, but you don't know of any other material that can produce its own power like that. So it's the closest you can think of. All in all, between all of you, you've definitely identified this is probably priceless. Or extremely expensive, whatever he has. And you all are being asked to delve to the bottom of the ocean into some sort of dungeon to help recover more information on it. He has not mentioned your pay, though. He's Manic Ramp. Completely, he was more concerned about being able to talk about his thesis and his research project than business things. As he's kind of settled back down and like he's a little bit heavy breathing and out of breath from all the like working up he did. He's opened the floor for your questions.
Have you come up with a name of this material on your own? I know it's a forgotten material, but have you
I've gotten
made
from
your own name?
I've attempted legend lores, and it resists divination, or at least it has so far. But the most we got was its name before the spell completely failed.
Name.
It's called a Shard of Vasto.
Shard of Vasto.
We got some inclinations of that it can melt things on a metaphysical level if used properly, the right bearings, or in a literal sense, much easier.
Before we get too far into questions, there is the matter of pay for such a high-profile job.
Of course, I meant no insult. It got away from me. You would be
This is
entitled to any loot that does not immediately pertain to the research or understanding, or anything that would amplify, or even another shard. Those would all fall to me, but anything else located in the dungeon would be yours to have, as well as a cash payment of, let me go check the ledger. Will there just be the 5 of you?
We have two
We
on
have
party
a few.
who are not here at the moment.
Would they require transport to ferry them to the drop site should they come available?
They're waiting. I assume we left Datrat and Katira back at the key.
Yes, they're there doing maintenance.
Yeah.
They are currently doing maintenance at our
Residents.
residence,
Ah,
and we'll meet with us as we head out.
is this... he looks at you all up and down. Are you all working folk, magi of the city, or out-of-towners?
We recently acquired
Towners.
technically we're residents. We
Yeah.
Well,
Technically, we are
What's that,
residents.
this is just like almost a week ago, right? That we got the place.
It's only been a few days.
3-4
It's not
days?
quite a week.
Less than a week ago. We obtained a residence to the southwest of the city. So
You wouldn't happen to have filled that old fort, Tim Bonnet, would you? I heard that new residents had moved in there.
yes, that's us.
Ah, it's a pleasure to hear we have new neighbors. Well, hopefully, this will be the beginning of a long, loving relationship between us.
What kind of things are you expecting to encounter upon this journey that we should prepare for?
Initial
Obviously,
readings showed it to be quite hot. It seems that this dungeon, if you will, seems to be nestled on top of some sort of magmatic flow, and the heat is carried throughout. It is very hot, and you should be prepared. I do have the means to provide water breathing should it become necessary, but I would recommend picking up some potions of water breathing as insurance in case that magic is melted off of you while you're 2,000 feet under the water.
This will not be an issue.
Good.
Would not
Good.
the potion's effect be melted as well?
It's all about being able to re-up it in time. If you have it initially, and then it's melted off, if you get out of the range where it could melt, it would likely
Is
behoove you.
water breathing in action or a 10-minute thing?
It's an action.
Got it. Yeah, then we should be fine.
Remind me, does water breathing require you to touch every target, or just see them?
See within 30 feet.
Okay. You all are... Did we lose somebody?
Given the
Somebody just dropped out of the game. It was Silvercam, Morgana, Zonkiri, Shade, Ondario.
Yeah. Dom.
Oh, there he goes.
I mean, not Dom. Norman.
Wait, hang on, real quick. Consciousness check on Shane.
Huh?
Okay, good.
Checking to see that you were fucking awake.
Oh.
I thought I heard something real quick.
I did have to snort a little bit.
That was probably it.
Nose is leaking.
Plugged in, bitch up. Anyway.
All right, that covers environmental effects, but
I can't tell you if there will be any combatants, but it did seem technologically advanced from preliminary scans. There could be some sort of resistance met down there. Truly, I have no way of knowing.
If we should come across any entities down there, given that you just said it was technologically advanced, should we come across anything that is well and truly beyond our pay grade, it should not come as an issue that we retreat and recuperate and plan around that situation.
Of course. I'll be venturing down with you.
Yes.
And
just saying Sakura was we will be prioritizing life too. We don't have. I only have one a revivify a day.
Right. I assure you, the safety of us is my top priority.
I just felt the need to say it as the healer.
If you all would like to roll an insight check.
I have one for free. That is it.
Monkiri doesn't need to. He doesn't believe him.
Oh my god!
Ondario, do I even have to say it?
Let's see.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Zonkiri knows wizards. He knows. He
Down
knows
with
about wizards.
Ondario.
He knows that our safety
27.
is my safety.
Everybody except Ondario, because the DC was 8 because he rolled really poorly.
Jesus Christ!
You all pick up that he's telling you, as his hired guards, our safety is the highest priority. And it may be a little bit of a stretch to say our, and what he means is you and him, or the our might mean him, as in like a royal we setting, and that cares that he gets out okay. You all are there to make sure he gets out okay. And if you all are capable to get him out, you can get yourselves out. He doesn't seem actively malicious, like he would leave you for dead, but more that
he's
hiring you to make sure things go right, and he's expecting.
If we can't do our
wizard.
job, why even? So, is his class wizard?
Yes.
Or like well and proper, like
he's a transmutation wizard.
Got it.
And he does have up to 5th level spells.
And well, we are also hired to guard you on this. is there any magics that you are comfortable letting us know are on hand, if need be?
Let me check my book. He snaps and apparating in the air is a small wizard's tome that he unbinds the leather wrapping on it. It does not
Yeah.
fit the normal magmatic theming of things
Yeah.
you all would see. It is just a regular book that is very worn by the ages, and if you all would like to give me a perception or investigation check, you might see some notes on it that make you wonder why it looks different than everything else in your
Took
house.
that perception check out of my mouth, Connor. How dare you?
Mhm.
Zonkiri heard other wizards spell book and just immediately like
Cartoon eyes bulged.
Varshi has like a ripcord around Zenith's neck. Tell me what he knows. Oh, there he goes.
You get the idea that this is the age on this, and given him, this might have been Baby's first spell book from his parents when he was starting the academy in Moonwatch. One of those best of luck on your studies, sweetheart. Here, we thought we'd give you a spell book to always remember us by, and that has been his go-to spell book forever.
Well, that's why they died. They brought the death flag just like that.
But he'll say spells that you all might want to know about. As far as cantrips, he has light, mending, prestidigitation, array of frost. I'll also just I could probably just take a screenshot of his spells and post that.
Yeah.
But 5th and 4th levels, because I'm sure that's all you all really care about, because you all have your own spells for those other ones. He has polymorph, stone skin, and telekinesis for 4, 4, and 5.
My main question was one of those utility ones. Like, does he have like what is it called? Tiny hut.
I don't have it marked as prepared, but probably. I took the transmuter.
Well, he's a wizard,
block.
so
Yeah, I took the transmuter stat block, and for any rituals, I imagined up to 3rd level, he'd probably have the useful ones. Tiny hut, identify, detect magic,
okay.
water breathing. Like he has pretty much. He's a noble. He can afford to get all the spell scrolls he needs. But I have a list of his prepared ones. Being
Just like
all these.
we're not going to jump in him immediately, but if we have to keep having Zenkiri upcast water breathing,
He does
we're
have
gonna have
water breathing.
okay.
And he will offer to cast it, ritual cast it for you all as you go down. Just wanted you all to be aware that that you are running into a place where you might start to drown very quickly.
We have backups.
And the way I plan on treating it, if you have water breathing on you and it melts off, you have like 1 round of the water in your lungs was breathable and enchanted. Then all the new ones all the new water that comes in will drown you. So you'll be holding your breath from there on.
All right.
Your breath being water.
All right, then. That means there's going to be actively things down there that might take away her shit. Yes. Definitely going to want to... What time would you wish to set out? We might need a day to get ready.
A day can be allowed. We'll be traveling on my personal ship, so there's no... Whenever I'm ready to leave, as soon as I found capable candidates, I can send word, and about a day will give them plenty of time to get everything prepared. I'll make sure to have healers' kits and other needed components stored on the ship, food, a few diamonds for resurrection, etc.
Noted. We're going to just since we're taking a day anyway, I'm just gonna switch one of my spells to Revivify. Just in case.
to be certain. This is a structure you have found, correct?
From what we can see, there is a silhouette we've identified, and from what we can gather, it appears to be a large subterranean structure that was buried under the ground and has broken the surface. But it does seem to be some sort of structure, as opposed to chance formations.
Alright.
Well, I have an idea, if you'll give me a moment. need to check my notes on something.
Well, he's doing that. Hey, Connor.
Yes.
This is just something just for me.
I don't like.
Can I make a or how to phrase this? I want to know how much health he has,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to ask if I can use medicine for that, just to look at his general physique.
Yeah, go ahead.
As I'm probably going to cast aid on us, and I would really fashion not having our wizard patron get fucking knocked out.
A 19.
Yes.
He has 40 hit points.
Fair
He's a wizard.
Yeah.
enough.
Oh, con. Negative con, even.
Negative con. What a fucking disgusting concept.
Negative con.
I
I
mean,
did that
I'm
with Helios.
51.
He nearly died so many times.
Negative con.
Actually, wait, hold on. If he's got 5th level spells, he's at least level 9. NPCs are medium sized or D8s. 9 times 9 is 81 divided by 2 for. He has a con of either 10 or 11.
11.
Yeah. All right, so I'm definitely going to have to prepare aid.
Math is fun.
Yeah.
He's also got a -1 to his strength. His best stats are intelligence and dexterity. All the others are 0s or 1s or -1s.
Connor, I have a question as far as the uses of a certain spell goes and how that interacts with physics. Which
Lay it on me.
you know what a diving bell is?
You cut out as you said.
He's
it.
asking what a diving bell is.
Do you know what a diving bell is?
I don't think so. No.
I do.
It is basically just a giant bell shaped thing that is dropped in the water to hold a pocket of air at the bottom. It's extremely heavy, usually made of solid metal.
Mhm.
Yes.
In order to sink down, it's allow you to have a pocket of air underwater.
It's not even
Now-
remotely high tech. It's used way back when.
Now there is a spell, a 1st level cleric spell, Karn,
Yeah.
called Create or Destroy Water,
Uh-huh.
which can destroy up to 10 gallons of water per cast.
Right.
Is that in a container?
It says in an open container or a fog in a 30-foot cube. Now my question is if we take a diving bell or if we find some way of sealing a room from the water above, could that spell be used to create us a pocket of air?
Hmm.
Now, physics-wise, that would not work because if you
Right.
destroy the water, there's a vacuum there, and the entire room would collapse instantly.
Yes.
But physics doesn't work in D&D, so
Right.
that's why I'm
I'll
asking.
say
I
because
also-
it's cool. Yeah, why not? Why not have it as you're
In that-
destroying it? You're just
Same regard. I also have a physics question.
lay it on. me.
You know the concept of if you ascend water too quickly, the bubble you'll get bubbles of shit in your bloodstream and die. Like, was it called dropsy?
Nitrogen poisoning.
Sure. Because I'm noticing a particular part of Water Walk that if we have to flee at an extreme speed,
I will not have you explode from decompression.
Thank you,
with
because
Water Walk.
if we have to get out there quickly, it sends us skyrocketing at 60 feet per round, so
Yep.
pretty fucking fast.
I won't have you explode from decompression.
Yeah.
You'll be
Bummer.
fine using Water Walk to go from the seafloor. Rwanda, you'd be
So-
fine anyway.
So that is the reason I asked that is because if this place has areas of, I'm just going to call it dead magic or things that can inflict essentially dead magic on us,
Mhm.
it might be beneficial for us to take create and destroy water is still a magical thing, but the effect is not something that can be undone by undoing the spell. It's an instantaneous spell. It's done. It's one and done.
Right.
So the idea is if we bring a diving bell down with us, that'll give us a non-magical means, i.e. one that can't be affected by whatever property this is.
Right.
Where if something does go wrong, we will be able to use that as a pocket of air until whenever.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he'll have a diving bell brought aboard to drop with it after you propose the idea.
Ogana can be the weight.
I would like to say, Morgana, give me a some sort of intelligence check, either Arcana or it relates to understanding yourself and what makes you up. So I'm leaning on Arcana. If you have any other intelligence-based check you'd like to suggest, I'm all ears.
I'm a barbarian, Connor.
I know.
I
I'll
have
say Dariel
absolutely
can also
zero.
make an intelligence check because you have thoroughly examined Morgana, and she's constantly on your mind. So you could pretty damn good though. So Dario, if you'd like to make an Arcana check too. Morgana, you are listening to the fact that this thing breaks down metals and magic. And Dario, if you'd like, well, you can make an intelligence check on the thing I'm describing to Morgana as well. She made an 18. You've studied Morgana a lot, and she's on your mind a lot, so thoughts are going through her head involving this mission. Okay. Did you not want to do Arcana?
You said intelligence.
Oh, that's funny. We would have gotten the same score. So, between the two of y'all, you get about the same information. You're listening to what these crystals do. They have been shown to melt down magic. They can separate metals and alloys into their base components. They are very good at destruction and separation. And Morgana, it hits you that you are metal alloys cobbled together and held by a magical core. And it gives you a little bit of worry. You don't think that it would just melt you if you got hit by a beam with this, but prolonged exposure would not be healthy for you. Even if you didn't have a magical effect on you.
Well, Morgana's not going to be carrying this shit back up with us.
Just reflexively, you just like take a gulp and you feel the chicken stuck in your throat. Just
Hey, Connor, I would like to also posit that Morgana would also be presumably aware that her magic and body have some self-repair capacity.
correct.
So,
Correct. I just wanted
Wolgrith, sir.
Nope, it's just you're looking in the wrong chat. Wizard's
Wrong
name
chat,
is
my
Okay. What's the wizard's name?
Wolgrith is the name of the wizard.
Magris.
Magritte.
Okay. Magris? Magris, sir. What's the general radius of this anti-magicness?
Generally, it has in its raw form, when I saw it in the battery, you had to touch it for it to melt. But I have figured out ways to send magic through it so that the effect carries in a beam, making it a ranged attack. I doubt I'm the first one to figure that out, but you have to be hit by this energy as opposed to being near it.
And what effect would this have on a warforged body?
Give me an insight check as you say this. Because he says, that would be a very interesting question to dive into someday. And you, having worked with a wizard, and you yourself having this glimmer in your eye occasionally,
Oh shit.
have a little, you see the flash of possibility in his eyes going, just the pupils dilate, and he goes, oh, that's a fantastic question. I'm adding it to the list.
A hypothesis, you say? Oh, hello, volunteer.
But he does.
And Ariel, noticing this, will go, while I am not against
Gary's
experimentation, you must remember that warforged are living creatures.
Of course. I would likely start with non-sentient automata.
And end with non-sentient automaton.
Sure.
Oh, voila.
There's nothing to be said for the bodies of people who perish.
Well, I mean, people donate their own bodies to science all the time. I'm not going to comment.
Yes,
Doesn't
Warforged are
really believe him.
He's much like how Zonkeri said he knows how wizards act. You know how wizards act. You've actually studied under a transmutation wizard.
Shit.
Are Warforged immune to disease? Let me check.
I'm pretty sure.
Immune to disease, yes. only half on poisons or something like that.
Yes,
or
you have
it
advantage
could
in
do-
saving throws against being poisoned, and you're resistant to poison damage. You don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. You're immune to disease. You don't need sleep, and you can't be put to sleep.
Your circuits are gonna get fucked up, right? It's gonna kick you in the water. You gotta start
As I'm
electrocuting.
sure you've noticed, we have a Warforged with us.
Of course.
Can you guarantee her safety
I can guarantee no one's
from
safety.
this? From this.
I can guarantee I won't be hitting her with any of this, but I cannot guarantee any of you will walk away unharmed. I'm hiring you on
That's
as
the
your...
nature of our. I want you to tell me that you are not going to try to experiment on her.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. You will... You have no reason to worry about that.
Very well.
And if you'd like to roll insight on that, you may.
I would like to do that as well.
Go ahead.
Fuck you.
Oh, Katira's not here. I must assist.
I've rolled like nothing under a 15 in the last.
God damn!
Morgana, you genuinely believe him? You don't get it, but you understand sometimes when people are faced with tragedy, they develop this thing called empathy, and you feel like he's empathizing with this protective nature Morgana or Andariel's talking about around you. You don't.
That's
you
suitable
believe,
for Zankiri, I think.
Yeah.
Empathy.
What is this? Does it taste good?
You fully believe he would experiment on a Warforged, but you believe him when he says he won't experiment on you.
I know your
This
name
one.
now.
Yeah, that's what you get with your insights.
I mean, you could always pay a Warforged to be experimented on. It's not like we don't do human trials.
I mean, it's
IRL.
not going to kill him instantly, so it could just be like a testing temporarily thing. Because if they got a
Or
So
if there's a Warforged criminal to be put to death, just
oh shit,
ask, mark that he was executed, and pass him along. For the
like a
greater
war
good of magical
crime.
science.
Well then, I have no objections to taking this job.
With our experimentation put aside, it is possible that if this place is advanced and it has defensive sentries and constructs, they may use this power.
Hmm.
They may also be vulnerable to it.
Hmm. He has like the look of somebody stroking their beard as you're discussing this. He's a man lost in the sauce, and you will, no matter how dangerous what you're telling him is, he's more enraptured by the idea of learning more about it than he is worried about the risk of finding out. He
Did we
really
get
wants to fuck around, and he's not considering what happens when he finds out.
Now, while he's doing that, I just want to bring up a little more. We only broached the idea of pay. We never got the exact number.
Yeah, he has not told you yet.
I would like
was
to know.
actually about to ask once Sundar said,
Yeah.
no objections.
Yeah,
So you all
go ahead.
ask about the price, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
They're
the
paying.
exact price for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people.
He'll tell you that for each person, because your two friends may or may not come.
Yeah.
He's willing to pay you 200 gold pieces and leave you any magical items you all find down there.
Okay.
200 gold pieces each. And like he said, anything you all find down there that's not directly related to this, that he can't immediately use for research, that's y'all's. Of course, it'll be yours to get out.
We have a bag of holding, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
Don't open that underwater.
Or do,
Yeah.
and then open it at the nearest fire elemental.
No, if you put too much water in there, it'll just burst the bag.
What the fuck was the one that we got was waterlogged?
Funny.
God damn it, Connor! That was a plane.
Somebody was very careful about how much water they were putting in there.
It was under the ocean.
They were measuring it.
Technically, if the
ocean
bag
measured it.
stays open, it would remain in equilibrium, right? It wouldn't. Any pressure that's expanding on the inside barrier of the bag would push out, and then it would just escape through the opening because that's the easiest route out. Right?
Well, the way it technically is that it's like a portal into a dimension, and if that dimension just reaches a certain threshold, it just explodes.
I imagine the bag was open, so the water just flowed in and out, and then when you picked it up, it just closed as you were pulling it up.
Unrealistic DM, bad DM.
Yeah.
Like I
cool.
said, physics and D&D doesn't work out, right?
Yeah.
It's D&D. Relax. It was
But,
funny.
No, how dare
No, let's fixate for the next 20 minutes on whether or not the bag of holding you all were given actually still exists or if it blew up.
I'd like to buy some beetles for.
We have a
Alright.
metaphysical bag of holding.
Mhm.
Is it or is it not?
Well, I have no objections to this mission. Although, considering the dangers of it, 200 gold with the contingency of magic items that may or may not be there is a bit of a shallow guarantee. I'd offer that should we find little to no treasure for ourselves that you do not take for yourself, kind of gestures at the material,
Mhm.
that we be more adequately compensated.
Give me a persuasion check.
Quick, die for your cards. Okay, go.
Nope, nothing that'll help me.
Mm.
Proceed.
If he needs it, I'll give him an advantage on charisma.
I think he needs it.
Give that
Yeah.
advantage.
Hold on. At least see what he rolls first.
He did.
No,
Two.
No, I meant
He
for
rolled
the
it
second
next.
one.
So
Because
you
we
can-
usually roll
13.
the double to see both.
We can only use one card, right? On
per
our
check, yes.
Okay, I had a +5 ready.
I mean,
So-
at least it wouldn't be a critical fail if I hand him the card.
Yeah.
It's up
It's
to you. Is
true.
that what you're doing?
Yep, he put it on the phone.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
handing my card.
Sorry, I was zoomed in on the table. I didn't see it up there. Yep, okay. So it goes to a 13. He nods. All right. I think that's commendable. Should you come out with
I'll just.
less than... with... Yeah, but it's still a 2, Norvin. It's...
It's a 2!
Should you come out of this endeavor having had no magical items and no other gains, I'll provide some sort of monetary compensation to scale to the danger you put through. So the 13, he says he'll give you something if you get nothing. If you had gotten higher, he would have given you a number and giving you, like, saying that you each had to get one magic item each. He currently is
The
just like,
entire
if you get
situation
nothing,
turns to be a submarine. We're an excavator.
That promise is good enough to make any mercenary not want to work for him if he goes back on it. So
Oh yeah.
you got to remember, one of the most valuable things in medieval times is reputation.
Yep.
Yes.
That's right.
Now, you all are welcome to stay and finish your meals, but as soon as you're done, I will take you off the estate, and I will send a courier out to begin preparing the ship. And he snaps, and Zenith appears on his shoulder again. The courier. Actually, I'll just send you now, Zenith. Prepare the ship and have a diving bell or two brought aboard. Have preparations for at least 6 passengers, up to 8. He nods. Is there anything else you all needed in preparation?
Not that I can think of. What are you guys?
Water combat. I need to see if I have a
shit.
suitable weapon.
You'd have tried it.
Tried.
I can also use. It's daggers, javelins, short swords, spears, or tridents. I can also use spears if I really need to. Yeah, spear probably because I can two-hand it.
Since we
not-
modified my brass knuckles cutter, those work fine, right? It's just attached to my fist.
Yeah, they're treated like daggers, I think, so yeah.
So
Okay.
my firearm will not actually work, will it?
It'll be soaking wet. If it's using your magical things, I'll say yes, because there's no actual gunpowder in the bullets being sent out. Your magically infused one. But a regular gun will not work
Right.
underwater.
Well, where that one?
Only guns were going underwater. These go.
So yeah, your magical infusion reloading one will still work. as well as your lightning flingers on your infiltrator armor.
Hopefully, it doesn't electrocute anyone else while
Hopefully.
shooting it underwater.
He sends Zenith out a window, and they begin to fly off to the port.
Damn. Lose both my maul and my longsword. Sad.
This is karma for the Ocean Master, whatever the fuck he was called.
The ocean lord.
Yeah.
You can
So-
say that all you want, but he's dead and you're not.
Yeah, because Skrit's a fucking monster, and he got healed, like capital H healed.
Oh.
Big heal.
So, you all are able to finish your meal, and you head out to your fort for the rest of the evening. Is there anything you all wanted to prepare? You could have stopped by the town proper to buy any tridents, short swords, etc.
That's
or any
one
of these.
spear, please.
I would like an oh shit, something's wrong is happening. Water breathing potion. How much is that?
What the +1 spear will make it 550 because it's an uncommon weapon.
550. God dang.
Yeah, expensive. And then you wanted a water breathing potion, Karen.
Yes.
Let's see.
There's like no difference between a trident and a spear. Not really.
He'll charge you 200 for a potion of water breathing.
Okay.
There's literally nothing other than weight between a trident and a spear.
And
Is
tridents
getting
have-
the trident?
Trident's 2 pounds heavier than a spear. Same stats and everything else.
Guys, if we might manage to break even on this quest.
Behold, adventure!
I have to buy a +1 because Morgana's standards have been raised by both her augmented maul from silver and the longsword +1. So she doesn't want to take a downgrade.
I mean,
Let's hope there's loot in the
Hold on.
in here.
Can't he augment
I mean, if
the
you,
spear?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I could augment your trident and augment your maul, and after we're done fighting in the water, I'll re-augment your maul.
Look, money.
But if there is pockets of air in this complex, this structure, she's automatically going to switch back to her hammer.
The absolute worst is that this just raises our reliability and we'll get higher profile jobs.
This is a higher profile job too.
Well, I want more. Then why are we getting paid more? Feed me more. Feed me.
You rolled a
Yeah.
persuasion of 13, and nobody asked, "Can you give us some more?"
Well, Morgana's a weapon collector, so it's fine. You just have 550 for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now you'll have a thrown weapon you can have with you for ever and ever.
Toss. Depends on what I throw it at. If it sticks in and it flies away,
There should be more
Not
unique
anymore.
weapons out there.
that's a shame. I think the biggest crime that they did was to shields. There's no variations in shields.
Tower shield. ...
Yeah.
Yeah. Big shield the size of your body is the same defense as a
I
buckler.
want a shield that has spikes and shoots fire and shit sprinkles.
And you can't hold it on your arm. You have to actually place it down, and it becomes like a cover.
You gotta take your feet for it to fucking smash people in the face with it. I didn't know that feet existed until I played with Fergus. Like, you could do what with the shield? Everything.
So,
I think the first time he's like, what was the first time? I think you like body slammed a fucking vampire spawn, something.
okay, take notes.
Well,
I'm
next step
trying.
is
So,
making
is there
an
anything else anybody wanted to buy in preparation for underwater things?
No,
Nobody else wanted to buy any weapons?
I bought my oh shit contingency, and I have my oh shit weapon. So
Yeah.
And Daryl would like to buy the heaviest maul they got.
They'll sell you.
What?
What's the normal?
And she'll leave it at the store because she can't pick it up. So let's just move on.
Oh,
Why are you buying a super hammer?
it's a bit.
Hold
Like
on to
it's-
this for me. I can't actually carry.
I'm putting this on. I'm putting this on layaway.
So, having got all your things,
Yeah.
make your way back to your fort. You see the lawn is beautifully mowed after Katira and
Yeah.
Dat got into it.
So above board, since we're probably gonna be in this dungeon for the next at least 2 sessions. I assume. Do we take them with us, like on the boat, and just leave them on the boat? I assume that's what we're doing. Or do we want to leave them here and just say sorry?
Well, the boat will be sent back to shore, so if they come back, the boat will be instructed to take them out.
Okay.
That is what the noble said he'd do.
How far offshore is this?
2 days.
Two. Okay.
So what is being described here is if they come back next session, while you all are in there, they were on the shore waiting to come back, and the ship just immediately did a U-turn with them.
Okay.
This is DM telling you the ship will go however fast it needs to, so that they'll be there when the players are here.
Superman is always as strong as a plot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
10, 15, 16.
I'll go ahead and delete this table down south.
How many zombies are taking this thing here? Or are you just gonna leave them in your cage?
That's actually what I'm calculating right now.
Oh, fun. Well, while you're doing that math, I'm gonna eat me some Oreos.
Okay. Would you all like to take a short break since 2 people are now doing a thing?
Sure.
Okay. We'll be back in 10 minutes then. Cool.
Be right back.
Why do you always argue with him then?
I like to... Whatever.
Northern a cognito hazard.
How dare you deliver half a burn to me as I start the recording. Welcome back. We pick up as you all have prepared all your preparations and are headed towards the docks.
Oh, I was gonna ask them to do the night before.
Okay, what were you going to do the night before?
Before I take off the prepared on my speak with dead, I was going to take that skull I got off of that drow in the cave.
Okay, it's just a little bit rotted now. I say that sarcastically because it has been like 4 days. But you have it.
Since
It's
the Knoll thing?
Oh, since the Knoll thing?
No, wait. Yeah, 4 days.
There's no drow with the Knoll thing. This was on the road back with the governance. This has been days.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that and cast Speak with Dead in my room.
Okay. Do you set it on your altar to Ilvian, or do you keep it off there?
I'll put it on the altar.
You brush off the area. What does your Speak with Dead look like as you reanimate the echoes of this thing's memories into skull?
A very vague outline of a humanoid appears, except for the part where that is being channeled through, as in it's just a very vague reddish mist, and then the mist is coming out of the skull, but the face is what's in detail on this red outline.
So you cast this on, and it has this memory of what its body should be, and the spell fills out what it thinks should be a body. See that light of red light in the pupils of its eyes that have since rotted out and are just sockets with these red beads. You hear creaking as it opens its jaw to lean its skull back up to look at you. And as it's magically held looking at you, it just says,
I will recognize. I will specify. I don't think I was old when this thing, so it shouldn't recognize me as an enemy, because I'm much younger now.
True. And you could have done work to like change your outfit because
Yes.
you have a whole new person's wardrobe that you can put on.
Yeah, just
So
saying.
you just look like an orc. Okay, you look like an orc to it. You hear the gasp of this skull animating, and you know you have. I think it's 3 questions for this one, or is it 5?
I'm looking for it.
5 questions. Until the spell ends, you can
questions.
ask up to 5. It's like I think it's commune. It's 3.
Okay.
So you have 5 questions. What is your first one for this drow?
Tell me, spirit, why did you attempt to abduct the transmutation wizard?
She was an
Or is it
abjurer.
Abjur? The Abjur.
You're good. Those beady eyes look at you. And it draws in this hollow breath as the air goes through its mouth, back into the air around it through the hole where its neck should be, saying, "Was contracted to abduct." And just small moat just snuffs out as the first question it answers.
Okay. Who and what contracted you to abduct the Abjurer?
Let me read this spell. Answer is usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive. No compulsion to author. Truthful if you are hostile or recognize you as enemy. Which the corpse can't learn. Doesn't comprehend. I would actually like to point out, if I recall, did the drow speak common before?
I think it muttered to itself, saying it hated people, but I don't know if that was in our language.
I'm pretty sure it was muttering an undercommon.
I got
think it
the
was
skull off
in-
Dat, so if I could have Dat here to...
If Dat speaks undercommon,
you guys talked about it.
Yeah.
He should.
but it will recognize him as an enemy, because he's the guy who decapitated him.
Have Dat roll stealth, please. He can hide underneath my bed. No.
So what is your setup?
This thing's on my altar.
Mm-hmm.
Dat is underneath the bed taking notes as it's talking at me.
That was for that.
All right.
Sneaky boy.
So it has to also hear undercommon to understand the question. As it says, the corpse cannot learn new information, doesn't comprehend anything that has happened since it has died, and can't speculate about future events. If it doesn't know common, it can't understand common.
Oh, he couldn't understand common? Okay. That's
I mean, I'll double check right now.
Please do.
Because it may...
Because that kind of fucks up my entire plan. Because I could have sworn it knew common, but that's...
Talking about the drow?
Yeah.
Drows usually only know Elvish and Undercommon.
Yeah.
What? There's some form of drow used. I think it was...
Well, I don't fucking know.
This one... Yeah, it's Elvish and Undercommon. So if you speak Elvish, you can get to it. I'm pretty sure you only speak Orc and Common.
Yeah, I speak Orc and Common.
Was Katera involved in the death of this drow?
No.
Probably knows
She was
Elvish.
on the cart.
Yeah!
I am happy to assist you, Cam.
Thank you. Get out of your dad. Go back and find your fucking rats.
Well, he rolled a stealth. Do you think he leaves?
This is fine. So Katir will be here to be my translator.
So she translates that first question for you and repeats it back to you, and is waiting to ask the next question.
I did ask the question: who and what contracted him to abduct the Abjurer?
Who or what contracted you? Because who and what is two things.
Fine.
Who or what contracted you to do this?
What? What did?
The doctor.
Who the fuck taking my title? That wasn't a question. Shut the. The Doctor of Blades.
I was going to say Plague, but I like Blades better. So yes, Doctor of Blades. I'll be fully upfront. You do hear that, like, bumps something under the bed and has had a reaction to the name that you'll have to talk to Dom about.
Okay. It's gotta be specific questions. Okay. That was 2. Are there more of you out here looking for that same abjurer?
As far as I know, there is no other.
Okay. Where did the Doctor of Blades instruct you to take the abjurer?
His workshop.
Where is the Doctor of Blades workshop?
On the final question, he says,
Hunt.
Get wrecked.
Inflict wounds. Cunt. Die.
"Oh, you don't have to.
Absolutely
You see the
outclassed.
skull chars black, and is. I'm pretty sure you can only cast this once, right? On per skull. Oh no, per 10 days.
Yeah.
You see
I'll get
it's-
the skull back to Dat.
Yeah, it's arcanely sullied, and for the next 10 days cannot be spoken with.
Okay. I'll get the skull back to Dat.
He does look a little off from what you recognize. I won't say what characteristics Dat has to show off, but you see that he's a little bit shaken by hearing about this Doctor of Blades.
Okay. I will get
Which
that.
is something we can dig into when Dom is here.
Yay!
So. Was there anything else anybody wanted to do the night before?
Oh, I don't. That's all I have.
Katira gets up from kneeling to speak to the skull and says, I hope this has helped you, Ken.
It has done something to me, but I think it's done something more to Dat.
And then she leaves without another word.
Yes.
Apathy. If there's nothing else anybody wants to do.
Nope.
Nope.
I did.
Fergus bought, or Zankiri, my mistake, bought 4 chainmails and a shield. Or 4 shields. I don't know.
I see. Okay. You do so and armor up your zombies or skeletons or whatever you have.
The zomboys?
And you all make your way to the dock the next morning. Sat in the water, you see a ship with no sail. At least not a traditional looking one. I will post the image in meme storage of what the ship looks like. Sunken. Oh wait, no. Why did I say meme storage?
Vape. I'm what?
Oh, the vape ship.
Into our actual game channel. You see a skiff.
That is prime ramming shape.
Yes.
I'm wounded by realizing that it's a vape class.
Wait, how did you not realize that? It's in bold
Yeah,
letters.
I was looking at a bunch of 3D models by the same thing, and they weren't all called vape class. I was just clicking, and I saw this one. I was like, oh, that's the shape I want. Download. It's not until I put it up here that I saw.
10 out of 10. Would DM.
And this is a large enough ship for you all to stand on that main deck, and then some. Probably hold twice as many people as there are. Probably hold 20 people, shoulder to shoulder. You do notice that it has this weird sail, and it has engines strapped to the back that are in the water. And standing there on the ship seems to be Lord Magrius de Beau, and sees you all coming. Ah! Weirdos! I'm so glad you decided to join us this morning. Please, come aboard. Mage hands the game plank.
He seems like he has a really audacious hat on right now. I can feel the aura
He has
of him.
a hat. It is not the captain or admiral's hat, but it's a nice, interesting hat.
No, that honor goes to my son.
Welcome aboard the SS Zenith. As you
How
all step
many
on.
of your things do you name after your familiar?
So, aboard the ship, you'll find there are seats in case we, when we start traveling out. You'll want to be seated, as it could rock you and knock you to your ass when the engines engage. There are, of course, modes if we needed to go interplanetary, but I won't be engaging those today, as we'll be remaining terrestrial.
Fucking ship, capital S.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
This is the sort of design that most of these spell ships come in now, is that they are regular ships that are just modified so they can also cross the space. As opposed to what you all had seen in previous campaigns, the ones that stay in space, like your alls mostly did, would just become like space stations, and you'd have ships like these or similar.
I cannot specify how much Des hates this new sleek design.
Yeah, good thing he's rolling in his grave.
He's got heavy boomer energy on right now. Just like need hard edges.
Yeah, they're not all exactly like this. This is just the way his looks, but this kind of, it's a regular boat with engines, but it can also probably shift into being a spaceship, should you need, or a spell ship, should it need to.
A spell jammer?
Dun dun dun. I will be scalping that book. However disappointed I know I'll be. So you all are able to find your seats. And he sat right next. There is a captain who's driving the ship. It just seems to be some hired hand in the house colors for him. Is there anything else you all need before I tell the captain to take us out?
Not really.
Do you have any Dromadine?
Sorry,
my dear. I'm afraid I don't know that spell.
Connor got it. Let's just move on.
Well, if we have nothing else, Captain, take us away. And the captain just nods. You hear the thrum of the engines. For those of you that this is the first time on a spell ship, there is machinery worked into the sides and the back end of this that is fairly advanced, though it still has the most appearance of a regular ship. This sail portion on it is more or less for show or in case the engine gives out somehow. And Ariel, this is your first time. And you've never been on one where a ship that's taken liftoff. And as you all get out of the no-wake zone, the engines shift out of their low gear and start revving out, just and you all are starting to pick up real speed until the captain lowers another sliding handle and some wings come out to the side. Not particularly large, just enough to give you a bit of lift, almost like an aerofoil. And you all are lifting with just that bottom rudder now trailing along the bottom of the water. And the engines are rearing up, and you see the captain slowly lowering the throttle, or raising the throttle, making you go faster. There we go. Until it's a very rocky and vibrating as you're coming up, and then you hit a portion of smoothness, and you wonder, what's all this? And as you look over the edge in Dariel, you all are no longer in contact with the water. You are over the air, and you are picking up speed. It's strange you would be cracking. This is your first time on a machine this powerful. Much like if you just took an Amish person and put them in like a redneck's like lifted truck and they started revving the engine, you're feeling some mortal terror. Just the rattling starts to subside, but doesn't quite go away. It's ironic that you are patroned by an air elemental and are thus scared of this flying process, but it's a funny irony nonetheless.
Just for some stupid historical context, however fast this thing is going, people were terrified of things like trains at the beginning because they were certain that at if you got above 40 miles per hour, you'd be going
The woman's
so fast.
uterus would fall out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read about
I
that.
can only imagine what's going through Morgana's head as she's like, "Oh God, what's gonna fall out?"
I feel like Abther said these myths knowing they're wrong, but just to fuck with you, knowing you would eventually get on one of these. So he's filled your head with more things that would go wrong, and they don't happen, but you're
As
terrified.
being who Abther actually is, 100% yes.
So you're terrified. But when you all get to, like, your cruising altitude, which isn't, like, in the clouds, it's just, like, 60 feet off the water, just zooming, you're like, hang on a minute. My teeth aren't falling out, and I'm not on fire. That motherfucker!
She's still thoroughly latched onto Morgana.
Morgana, did you not get in a seat? Because these are, like...
No, they were sitting next to each other.
Okay. Sat next to each other, just like seats of 2, 3 rows of them on the left and right, and then some additional ones in the back. So you all are sat next to each other. Everybody else is in their seats.
You okay, Andariel?
No, I'm not.
She looks.
I am not okay. This is terrifying.
Do you? That sail largely
Wait
blocks
until you
a
get
lot
on
of
a faster one of these days.
Faster.
Yeah, the captain yells out. Yeah, we're stuck at going terrestrial speeds, especially since we haven't engaged the full windshield yet. This is just kind of cruising speed at the moment.
Yeah, these things can break into out of orbit beyond the sky.
Why would you want to do that?
Because adventure.
I think what proper
and travel.
Proper Spelljammer speed is about what 4 million miles per hour.
The very pale Andariel suddenly turns a little bit more pale.
Karen's been on a ship before, but at that wording, he's just... There's probably dents in his chair. He's just sitting there stock still, tight-lipped, just...
Oh, you are also not adjusted to your strength. You absolutely are crushing the armrest if you're clinching on.
He's clenching because he's thinking about it now because he's a doctor. He's like what if the G-forces started affecting him right now?
I imagine you just slowly reach down to your seatbelt and click it on and tighten it.
Here we go.
I mean, I helped fix these kinds of ships, so I guess I'm kind of used to it.
Silver's one of those guys that's sleeping during takeoff.
Oh God,
No, I would be the one that's so excited to actually look outside the window during takeoff.
Zonkiri is probably the one like about to fall asleep.
Actually, has happened.
Fingers like drumming on his arm. Like, okay, can we pick it up? Can we pick up the speed?
Come on, Grandma.
Love this.
We can't run over mind flayers with a speed this low. Let's get it going.
So as you all are riding, I'm curious. Would you have taken an aisle or a window seat, Andariel, not knowing the speed this was going to go at? Would you have sat on the edge?
No, she's not a big fan of ships in the first place, so she would have tried to take a center seat.
So you've got the aisle seat. So you're mostly good. The captain does eventually tell you that you can get out of your seats now, that there's a wind brace that you all won't be knocked over, large part thanks to that.
Not gonna happen.
Sail. And you all are now free to roam about the cabin.
We believe the term for this is called character development. She pats Andariel on the head.
First, you hear in your head, Andariel, from Giasa, wow, y'all are really moving.
Give her the exact miles per hour right now.
Yeah, we are.
She's like, stick your hand out. I want to feel the wind resistance.
No!
Why not?
You all just hear Andariel go, no!
You'll be fine.
Mostly.
Look,
Because
Probably.
Stick
that's
the fake arm out there.
insanity.
please, you'd be fine. What's the
Only a
worst that
fake
could
arm.
Yeah,
happen?
probably won't. It will
She's-
probably fly
she-
off.
She says, and I quote, "What's the worst that could happen? What? You get sucked up into the wind and ripped off the ship and plummet to the sea below as they zip away? Come on."
Oh yeah, cabin pressure. I forgot about that concept. Tell me more, Josh. But it equalizes pressure. It applies to underwater things too, so we're not escaping that concept.
How's Adariel doing? And you'll see she just goes slump. And
You know what? It just occurred to me I could have done that for her already. Oopsies.
Hey, Khan.
Yeah.
Zunkiri kind of like waves his hand in the air, and you see like a set of spell glyphs appear pointed in your direction.
Uh-huh.
What do you think happens when you teleport at this speed?
Well, arcane stuff, I'm not sure. But medically wise, I would assume you would, unless you could really just do it instantly, once inertia takes off, you might lose a little bit of something.
Something like that. Zunkiri waves his hand, the glyphs go away.
I should probably apologize to Daria. I could have literally just put her to sleep.
But
give her Xanax for the flight.
Karen can either do his medical shit for Xanax or just cast sleep.
Aww. You're singing back the little.
Why do I think of the A Team when I see this?
the
Where they
lullabies.
literally drug Mr. T.
Yeah.
Fantastic. This is
Dara
what
only
gave you
weighs
the-
120 pounds, so she's easy to pick up.
Yeah, y'all, and she ain't got the strength to resist anybody. Like easy to
Oh,
get.
she's out.
She's passed out.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
gone.
I will say, and Daryl, you do see like her prosthetic hand like reaches up and pokes herself in the cheek, no movement, and then goes slump. That was Giasa going, "Oh shit, she good?" Feels for her pulse, hand goes limp. Yeah, she's good. And you all coast for the rest of the day, just wandering about. He does say that he's brought along some food for you all, and magic out.
Who wants chowder?
No, delete, please. He magics out a tray, like a imagine like a magics out a much like you would see a flight attendant. Ignore the dog. Much like.
Get him! I think Lily jumped him.
Much like as you would see. I fucking hate this dog.
Prize round.
She stopped just long enough for me to think, okay, she's done, and then
Oof.
yeah, much like as you would see a flight attendant walking down the aisle with like pretzels, soda, like doing that. You see like one of those carts by itself moves down with food, and just a little plaque flips out and says refreshments ? And flips over. Food or like snacks ? Flips back. What would you like ? It'll give you all just like little in-flight snacks.
Yeah.
Karen would like a ginger ale, 0 sugar. Gotta keep it on those. And a carne asada burrito.
Air travel snacks. Karen.
That is a snack.
3 gold pieces.
Oh, come on!
You're getting absolutely upcharged for a stupid ass request like that.
You absolutely are.
You know what? Fuck it. Give me my burrito.
You see there's like a little, almost like if any of you have ever been to a church, they have like the collection bowl, like the plate passed around. There's one of those.
you mean the hat?
Yeah. God, y'all use a hat? But
We used the hat.
we had like an embroidered like brass dish that like was a hand me down, like it was. But you place it in there, and ting, 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 the coins disappear, and then another plate apparates on the top with your carne asada burrito and a small glass bottle of some bubbly drink. It smells
Good.
of ginger.
Good.
The plate flips over again. Thank you for your business. You take yours off, goes to the next aisle. We'll say it's silver, sat behind Karen. You only have to pay, like, if you wanted to, you could just do like 2 copper and it'll give you like a loaf of bread and a water.
Good deal.
It'll give you change too. So you put in the collection tin and ting, ting, ting,
I have
ting.
copper.
How do you
Oh.
get change from copper?
Oh, I was saying like from gold.
Electrum.
Like if you put in a gold, it'd spit out the change from what it owed you. As you're doing it, you hear the noble walk up and go, "It's fascinating, isn't it? Truly a wonder. I had it commissioned. It's a bit of a joint project between myself and the conjurer. It takes the items away, and then, based on the value of the thing it's conjuring, we'll take that many coins, send them away, and summon back what it needs. Phenomenal, truly. They make smaller versions of these, but I'd have to say it's the best 1,000 platinum I've ever spent.
Can they do explosives?
There are ones that could summon things like that. They are much more expensive. It's all based on the spell. I believe it's creation. Most of the things, anything it creates, will disappear after a set amount of time.
Interesting.
For those of you all who are interested in the spell creation, you just create a thing, and depending on how valuable it is, depends on how long it lasts. Vegetable matter and such is listed as 1 day. If you all were curious about the spell.
I've read it.
Yeah. And then you can make more.
I've used it to drop giant solid blocks of rock and shit on things.
Wise. Because you can absolutely do that. So
It's like the super weapon you keep hearing about, the tungsten rod thing. Just
I was about to say, does anyone know what a kinetic weapon?
Yeah.
Is?
Yes.
We actually did a miniature version of that with a fucking anvil on a Lamia last campaign. No, it wasn't an anvil. It was a battering ram made of cold iron.
Mm-hmm. So, when it comes to Endariel Station, Morgana, what do you do? Because you get her. It asks you, what would you like?
We request water with a straw, preferably.
Sign flips. Free of charge! Exclamation point. Small glass of water has appeared, and a straw next to it. Would you like anything else? All written on the plate.
Damn, what was that thing? It was one of the first snack things you ever rolled that Morgana brought to
The marshmallow things or the
Endariel
potato
and
things?
The vagabond? No.
probably.
I'll just roll the signature food table of, well...
It was like a puff.
Oh, then it was definitely the, they were basically like Oreo puffs, I think. They were like these marshmallow cream things coated in like dark cookie wafer. They're just little Oreo puff snacks, essentially.
So try to describe that
Let me just...
as
Vagabonds. Nope, never mind. I think Vagabonds were with the actual first one.
Aaron like.
Yeah. But, yeah, yours, I think they're called... I can just look at the table. Shadow Spuds. They're just Oreo puffs. There's also the like Golden Corral rolls, as you called it.
Yeah!
And y'all wolfed them down. So you get those, and you set the small plate like next to you, like in the seat. So for when she wakes up, she'll have some. And she does eventually wake up later in the night. Just eventually, you wake up,
Right.
Andariel, and there's a glass of water and some Oreo puffs waiting for you.
How much was that? Water was.
For the puffs, we'll say it was. It'll upcharge you because airplane food. It'll say a gold piece per, because there are only 3 for a gold.
All right. 3 gold.
Yep.
3 puffs.
And so, in there, you wake up and see them set before you.
Wakes
Look
up
at
still in Morgana's arms.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. What happened?
Extreme stress seemed to have made you fall unconscious.
Oh, you can put me down.
Morgana will set her back down in the chair.
For a brief
Thank you,
second,
thank you.
Indaro, you're standing up and suddenly hear the wind moving, and it strikes you again that you're moving. You just kind of quickly sit. Your blood
Okay.
pressure staying stable for now, and you've got your water.
Okie dokie.
Did anybody else want to
Drink
order
some
anything?
water, eat some food. Drink some water, eat some food.
And you satiate your blood sugar, and you're getting adjusted. Did anybody else want to order anything for their meal, or did they want to just eat a ration?
Oh,
Sankiri asked
ration.
you to summon a flump.
No, Sunkir is more interested in where we're going as to the in-flight food.
On the computer.
And
If
then,
anything, he's probably passing the boredom, sniping magic missiles at passing fish.
nice. Some dolphins are like cresting over near you all, just chittering and smiling. The sun lights down on them. Just. Hey.
10 points.
Just a little yeah, fuck that dolphin.
There's a vampire riding that one.
For a split second, and then poof.
You say there's a vampire in that one?
That
Like,
would be the funniest way to have the vampires be hunting you down, is that they're all riding fucking dolphins to chase after your fucking spell ship. Just, we'll get them. We'll get them. It will only be a matter of time.
You know, if there's any plus to it, the vampires probably have their own spell ship that we can steal at some point.
I mentioned in the chat that I want to seal off this subterranean structure and then destroy all the water in it.
Oh, that's even better. Have an underground facility for the undead monstrosities. Great.
Secret lab.
Secret. Every good scientist has a basement lab.
And we can use that undead to build the secret tunnel to our fortress.
And you will take a rest for the first day of travel.
Massive ass tunnel. Yeah.
I forgot to roll weather for this day, but it was just kind of cold on the ocean. This next day, you all wake up. Is there anything anybody wanted to do overnight? The Lord seems to have a private quarters in the back that he sleeps in. Like a what's the word I'm looking for here? Almost like a houseboat. Like there's a small bedroom back there.
A suite.
Yeah, that he locks and goes to sleep in. And enjoys the life of luxury while on the ship. The captain, it's going on autopilot for now, but he takes intermittent naps. Just if there's anything that goes wrong, there'll be a loud beeping to wake him up. The chart was posting for the night.
Okay.
You all can take a long rest in your chairs. Just reclined.
Yeah.
Oh, I have 3 entire spell slots for it. If we're spending the night here, I'm just going to take the moment just off in the corner, going to inform Dagna of the entire situation. Just specifying using all 3 of those, just to tell her the specifics about the deal with the Baron and Cairn's predicament or his current status as not being old as dog shit, and that the vampires have taken the proverbial gloves off. Those are the three distinct points he wants to go with.
Give me insight check, because you know Dagna's tone of voice very well. And it's less important to know what she says in response to these than it is how she says it.
27.
You sit and mull after each message, using guidance for yourself.
Yeah.
Dagna is a very close to the chest one. She does not say a lot, so it doesn't usually shock you that you get one or two words answers. But it's the way in which she says it. You've known her for so long. You were one of the handful of people who could hear. This isn't her choosing to be brief. This is a necessity. She can't speak openly still. Even back with your last message, she had responded in something that sounded like it was a part of another message. And
that
had
was
cleverly,
like a week ago.
Yeah.
And
had cleverly responded only one word in her message. She had said one word that was part of a greater sentence, and then essentially told the sending, only this word is my response, and sent in a snippet. You get similar snippets this time, as if this time less like she's talking to someone, more like she's just making ambient noise. Nothing suspicious. Number 27. There's a twinge of. Yes, Dagna always was a woman with a plan. Nothing ever happened without her being prepared. There's a desperation and a hopelessness to her tone that you are scared to hear from her. Because all the time you've known her, no matter what happened, she had some plan. This is the tone of somebody who is devoid of hope.
Good. So, okay. Dagna's compromised. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. That or she knows what the fuck's hurtling toward me right now, but that seems less likely. Alright.
So, you all wake up the next day. Those who meditate only takes a little bit of time. It is beautiful out on this ocean. I mean, it is just dark. You hear the rolling of the tides, the whooshing of the wind. You all sleep like a baby. There's beautiful sky up above that you all can. There's an angle which you can look up to the sky with the wind brace sail. It's quite a beautiful sight. And you are realizing now this 2 days travel was deliberately said 2 days because it's far as fuck on a regular boat. But on this one, it only takes 2 days.
About a fucking week of travel with the fucking
one way, probably.
Can we get like a point on the map where this is?
Off the map.
Oh god.
Like, you said it was what, 2 days?
Yeah.
Normal Spelljammer, that'd be about 800 miles.
Oh.
In atmosphere.
Far. I don't know how far exactly. I haven't placed out. Just off the map in the middle of the ocean. If I had to, I'd pull up a. I could put you all on the world map for a second, since you're not really on Leoteth anymore. World map with all the other continents.
What continents? I forgot.
Yeah, we're probably about here-ish.
Here. We really hit the only one that looked over, didn't we?
Silver, please. This is the last day before you get there. You all are waking up. So. Your goal is like this circle I just drew. If you all would
It'll be on our way back.
This is Leoteth. I think this is Jaketh. This is Itadia. Oh god, I knew the name of this one at some point.
Wow, we are moving slow.
Don't take this as to scale. Yeah. Because yeah, no, that would not be. This is also kind of compressed as a world map. There's not exactly,
Filthy.
that much range, but
Right.
it's a map that you can view all the continents on. Expect that the oceans are much larger, because this is like the
Condensed
South
water.
Pole to the North Pole. It's just oceans condensed because viewing. There would be a map for navigation for those of you who are new to the planet. Would see that there are other continents. If you have any
Okay.
questions.
So
Yeah.
what it looks like rule of thumbish is that this map is about 4 times smaller than it would be if this place is the size of Earth.
Yeah, probably.
So it'd be about right here-ish to scale ish.
I like to point in Nemo-esque placing of it, but I'll shift it a little bit.
Well, when this thing crashes and we have to find our way to shore, it'd be best for us to know.
True. We'll place it about.
Oh, good. We're going to go to the other continent now.
There. Yeah.
Because Zyrteg is waiting for us to be off continent to fuck us shit up. Guess what?
Oh, that rat is just entered the battle.
Ah!
Da-ding.
Dom.
The rat.
Dom,
Okay.
I did backstory
Dom.
stuff for you.
So Dom, I see you're unmuted. Can you actually speak?
Yes.
So Dom, do you remember in your backstory, Karen spoke to that drow skull from the guy who abducted someone, and he said he was employed by a doctor of blades, which is the name you recognized. It's a title for a figure you knew who wore a long plague doctor's mask that was stark white. I said that you had a reaction of some sort to hearing the title again. Would you like me to remind you who the Doctor of Blades is?
Let me check my stuff.
It might be under
really
Doctor
quick.
of Plagues for you, because Connor, I
don't think I
jumped
gave you
in,
the
but
name of the title, just the description of the guy. So
just in case.
Hey, I had to find where my backstory notes are.
you're good.
Backstory notes? Where'd you go? Backstory notes? Where'd you go?
Behold, Discord note channel.
Also,
Thank you, Connor.
Yes.
I'm far more concerned that my Discord notes have disappeared.
Uh-oh.
What?
I do have your whole interview recorded, and I can send it to you.
I will need that to redo all my notes.
I will do
Also,
that
yes,
after the session. So how would that react?
Bad reaction. Bad reaction.
At the time, he was stealthed under his bed because this happened in Karen's room. So I said they just heard a bump as he jumped up in fear and hit the bed and just moved. So it's death still.
That's a fair reaction.
We halt your regularly scheduled program for a backstory flashback.
So let's flash back to that night for a moment. Is there anything you'd like to say to Karen? Because they noticed that you bumped the bed and had some issues.
I gave the head back to you. That does anything.
There will just be rat hissing. Feral reaction.
All the hair on him is just standing on end.
He looks like a porcupine.
So I take it you're bothered by this Doctor of Blades.
Bothered. Bothered is a word. Bothered is not the word I would use, but bothered works.
So who is this Doctor of Blades?
Bad. Very bad.
I see. Well, they're the ones that wanted that abjure that we saved, so we've interfered with them.
You could make me a history check to think what the doctor would want with an abjure.
History. Oh.
Guidance! Smack.
Sure. As you see him roll, just the gears turning in his mind, you give him guidance to help stave off some of the anxiety that's blocking out his thoughts.
What's guidance again?
D4.
D4.
D4. Okay. I don't feel like putting it right now, so let's do this. Oh.
With a
For a
20.
total of 24.
You even
Behold!
I was praying you get in that 20 because it lets me do this.
Behold, rat magic.
You think, the thought comes, what would he want with her? And like you could hear his voice, you hear just, there's always room to experiment on the magically inclined. Always more to learn. And just the thought and the memory of his voice, it's a chill down your spine. You just shudder at the feeling of his presence. He's not here, but you're shaken to your core just thinking this person was just wanted a test subject to see what limits they could push them to, what they could extract from them, harvest, mutate. They were going to just chop shop a person, which you've seen happen numerous times.
Doctor just Throt?
Anyone who just wouldn't be missed or could be taken would be snatched up, brought.
That is back under the bed in his dark hole.
You
It is
remember
safe.
what it's like to be
It's safe in the dark.
experimented on. Very true.
I look at Katira. Well, he's going to be down there the rest of the day.
Karen, give me an insight check as you see him going through.
Do I need one?
It'll be an advantage. I want to see how much you read. You can clearly tell he's scared of him. This is a. Can you place Y?
24.
I want to put this into perspective. Can you place why the rat that charged at a frost giant
You know what?
is scared?
That's a good point.
Karen, you've seen people traumatized before. You imagine he was under the knife of this Doctor of Blades at some point and had been in his thralls of whatever he does to people. You can only imagine what that has had to be put through. And just the scars, the after images of what he's survived is enough to just debilitate him.
Aaron does himself a concerned face. Like he's going to move over to the wardrobe, the armoire, and in one of the coat pockets, he's hidden a little bit of alcohol, and he's gonna go over again, and one of his ritual bowls is gonna clean that out, and he's going to pour that into a bowl, and he's gonna slide that underneath the bed.
Is that just?
That is not going to touch it.
Karen will not stick his hand underneath there.
Do you put any blankets or thing down for him? Because I doubt he's leaving his room, your room.
Yeah. After seeing nor hearing any sounds during shit, he's gonna be there a while.
Wait, question. Where are we?
You're in my room.
You're in the
underneath
fort
my massive mahogany bed.
Yeah.
In the fort. No, I'm going in one of my holes. It's safe in the tunnels.
I was gonna ask.
Damn it, here.
I asked everybody what their rooms look like, but you and Liv weren't here. What does that room look like?
It's in the ground.
A nexus.
Okay, if you were placing money, anyone who was in here who said he just started digging instead of buying furniture, apparently you were correct. So yeah.
Yay.
So Dad's room will be in, as Pyro was saying, in the nexus. All the tunnels lead back to Dad's room.
Okay.
So he walks into his room. It's just a fucking nest of holes and fucking markers.
I like to imagine you have Karen walk with you, almost with his gem, like a nightlight, just taking you to your room as you cross into this unfamiliar hallway.
No, you misunderstand.
There's a hole
this out to you.
leading to my room.
Karen can now hear scratching under the bed, scratching and digging, and dirt being flung out from under the bed.
Oh god damn it!
Karen, how do you respond?
No. Go back to your room the other way. Use the other way.
Dirt being shifted.
God damn it.
And you, Karen.
We have a rat problem. What I do, I can't sleep at 3rd level.
Roll it.
And do it.
Because if Dad wakes up in the dark in his hole, does that beat your
47?
Wait.
47.
Think first.
No.
No.
Damn it!
Now,
53 max HP.
is this counting your blades that you keep on?
Huh?
You keep your weapons on, and that lowers your HP. Your infusions, your blood hunter things. Because that's close, I think.
Hold on, let me check that. I don't
Because
think
if you
that's
roll
right.
high on, I think you have D6s. You take a certain amount of damage when you flick them on.
Where the fuck are my...
If not,
If
he's just
I
gonna reach in
remember,
and
it
grab
was
him.
supposed to be equal to your level, though I don't know how they've changed it.
I'm pretty sure
Hold
you
on.
just take a amount of your Humancraft die.
Hold on, I'm gonna go recheck that.
Yeah, even if not,
For
he's just
each
gonna-
weapon, I believe.
Go ahead and look it up, but it's unimportant for this. Just he attempts to sleep you, and the
Yeah.
fervor of your
For level
devotion to
6,
tunnel.
you have 2 weapons. It would be minus 12 HP.
That would put him down enough for sleep, but it silly goof. It's not really that important. You
Let's
are
just say I get him, and then I swallow him like an autistic baby.
Here, wait, hold on. No, yeah, it's a roll. It's a hemo die roll
yeah,
per
that's
each.
what I thought.
Oh, that's still the light turned on. Yeah, that'll put me to sleep though.
All right, sleep. None of that.
And you
Red
see
mist.
that's out for I think
I
an
dr-
hour. However,
I
that when you wake up, you'll be in a nice, warm, damp hole like you're used to. And you'll just
No,
be like, oh,
I take him out of the hole. He
Oh.
did not get that far.
you're right. He's just starting to get the stones. You're right.
The wood
I-
is thoroughly ripped up.
Oh yeah.
My floor.
So you pick up the rat body, take it to his room, and gently set him in his hole.
I Hannibal Lecter him for fucking at my floor.
We'll talk later. Zonkiri
Yeah.
offered to arcane lock everyone's doors, but for now we'll say you didn't. We'll talk about your room specifics next time in a later session.
Yeah, I put him in his room. Hannibal Lecter. Just
I imagine you take like a handful of dirt and just sprinkle it on top. There we go.
yeah.
There's a
that's
blanket.
fine. Yep.
And you all sleep. That you get your full long rest because of Karen, and you wake up in your hole to sleep. And then we cut forward to you all being on the spell ship. It is just a regular boat looking that takes off and can transform into a spell ship. Posted in chat what it looks like. You all have just completed your
the
first
vape skiff.
the first day of your 2 days travel. As you all headed to that green circle, there was like a flight attendant's cart that was enchanted that if you put coins in, you could get it to summon things for you, but marked up to airplane prices because Karen got charged 3 gold for a burrito and a ginger ale.
Fucker.
That were mid at best.
I'm inscribing on the hull of the ship. Jewel.
Interesting. I hate you. I just heard it. You also have not met your employer. You all are on a job. The guy who owns the ship, Lord Magrius DeBow. He's a transmutation wizard, hiring you all to come help him in a dungeon dive to extract some sort of information on this special material he's found, or more of this material.
He's a crossbreed.
Yeah, he's a magma genasi.
He's a mutt. He's a filthy inbreed.
Not inbred, but sure.
You don't know that. They're nobles. They're
I
always
do know that, actually, as God. He's not inbred. Specifically, because he comes from 2 rival houses.
Boo.
Boo?
Boo.
Boo? You'd prefer incest noble?
That will make him dumb. Extremely dumb. Pay us more.
You've heard his extravagance. No. You all are
What?
rising for the next day. I'll go ahead and roll your weather. Oh,
I'm just gonna disregard that.
Hey, Connor.
Yeah.
You might want to rethink the weighting on your table because we've had stormy weather like every day for the past 20 days.
I'm pretty sure it's set it equal to everything else.
You think that?
Let me
Roll it again. Click it again.
We got an eclipse.
Ah!
Stormy weather.
Okay.
One more
got an
time. Just one
eclipse.
more time. Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. Hey, Norm.
Point taken.
I just like that we got an eclipse.
Yeah. weight of 1, weight of 1. Yeah, they're all set to equal. I'm just going to set partly cloudy to be a higher weight.
I have to say, we don't normally have equal amounts of cloudy days and stormy weather.
I'm going to set cloudy weather
Well,
to...
unless you're in Britain.
So we're in the middle of the
British
ocean, so
people?
it usually does get a little bit more stormy.
75 plus 10 is 85. I need another 15 on clear skies. Okay. Table updated to where now it is going to be mostly partly cloudy.
2 asterisks really fucked me over.
I'm trying to fucking censor.
Yes,
Is British.
I do the same thing with French.
Valid.
People?
Notice the quotes, but you all will have a eclipse on this. We'll say that a happy accident. You are passing into the path of totality as you're flying over. You all come over a solar eclipse. Not a total one. I know I just said path of totality. You're in the path of it. You catch just like a half eclipse.
When's the next renewal?
Shut up. As you all are traveling, you have this. It concerns you at first because it starts to get dark in the middle of the day, and then you see, oh, it's an eclipse. It is.
How many moons?
I think this planet has 3 or 2. 2 or 3, more than 1. So we'll say 2. One of the moons is passing in front of the sun, or passing in front of the planet, aligned to the sun. And there's nothing really.
I'll say it just because it's funny. As we're traveling through the path of the eclipse, and for like that brief few seconds where it's like an actual eclipse with how we're traveling before it becomes like a partial eclipse again.
Mm-hmm.
Zonkiri's just like sitting in his chair, just like he like glances up, sees that the eclipse is happening, and like as he's glancing up, anyone who happens to glance at him, his shadow is going wild. And it's just scenes like straight out of the 9 hells, just souls devouring each other. Just his shadow is going ballistic with like evil Death Lord energy, and then as soon as we're out of the eclipse, it goes back to normal.
Valid.
I want to see that.
I like to imagine, just for a second, it looks like it's reaching out to grab everyone else's shadow, and then the eclipse drops, and it's just your regular shadow. But yeah, there is definitely a sort of vibe that you could pull something off on a day that there's a cosmic event like that. But you all complete the rest of your day. The stormy weather out here is less rain for this day and more of like heavy winds. He fully closes the like hatch and sets it basically to full spellship mode, so you aren't getting rained and wind battered. And they do pick up a little extra speed, though it's like completely smooth now that you're fully encased. And you all come to, at the end of the day, like 4 o'clock, essentially. Rest above the drop point. There are 2 diving bells on here, as he said there would be. And the captain knocks on the door of the Lord, who steps out in adventuring gear, quote unquote, which is just padded fine clothes. They're basically just like nice clothes that a commoner would strive to have, but these are his play clothes. And you see there's like a shimmer of mage armor.
Are you sure you're a wizard and not a bard?
I have no idea what these accusations are for. Now, let's get this spell cast. And he begins to trace out the runes for water breathing. His magic is very aesthetically. It looks like he's taking molten metal and tracing it in the air as it forms the spell. It's almost like if you've seen Marvel movies, like the way that Doctor Strange and they do their magic. It kind of has that same kind of glow to it as he casts
Sparkler magic!
Kinda, yeah. Except this one, his is a bit more drippy than it is sparkly.
The drip?
Gross.
Shoot. And he casts water breathing on all of you, including himself. And the captain for shits and giggles. Because he has some room. Well, it's time to start. Does anyone know how to use a diving bell?
Pretty simple. Just point the opening at the water and drop it.
Can I roll something for that?
He's sure.
Athletics roll.
I think she means to recall, and just general intelligence. This is more of like showing that he's just, yeah, you know. This is just showing that he's sheltered noble kid. He's like, all right, how do you blue collars do this?
How do you peasants?
You put it in the water, opening down.
Cool. Can somebody push that in? You look strong. And
No,
points to Morgana.
don't push it. It needs to be lowered. Otherwise, it'll just roll and become either a sinking bell or a boat.
That's what the chain is for, the crane, or wherever the fuck we're tying it to.
Right.
Zancuria will wave his hands, and the zombies will start picking up the bell and carrying it to the edge and lowering it correctly. And
the ship kind of shifts as the weight dips out with the chain. And you all are being lowered until you're like just above the water. Like the rudder is touching. And you all just, the engines turn and you are hovering. Well, there goes one. Would you like to send down the other?
How many people can fit per bell?
They're fairly large. Probably 4.
There's there's 2 very big people. Several skeletons and zombies.
No, not counting the undead. Counting everybody who has to breathe, so not even
The
Morgana.
undead can just drop in combat style.
yeah,
I was planning on Morgana, like, if you wanted to drop the bell in, Morgana would be, like, keeping it aligned correctly, falling
There's a
with
chain
it.
going down if you wanted to ride it down, Morgana.
Oh, yeah.
You're just gonna do the Captain Jack Sparrow thing of like, nah.
You
Right,
sink underwater, Morgana, and just naturally your mouth starts to fill with water, and you're not at all concerned. Your body just kind of shifts and like seals off your like oral cavity so it doesn't flood your whole body, and just little floats of mashed chicken meat or pheasant meat float out.
I knew you'd do that.
These are not the fowls you're looking for.
Did you know I was going to say it float out, and then I'd fuck up saying pheasant? But yeah, you will start to lower. He casts it all on you and goes, well, to the bottom. And he hops on the chain and it's getting lowered. The captain's just kind of looking at you all going, I'll be here for when you get back. Just, I guess, if you can, yank on the chain and I'll know to reel it up. Otherwise, swim to the top and climb overboard. Or onto board. Whatever.
they'll send you a
Sounds
signal.
good.
Cool. He takes out a pipe and starts lighting it. Take care. And as you're lowering, he goes, oh, also, I won't fly you back without him, so I'd like to get paid.
That's what I'm
Seems
here for.
reasonable.
Oh,
And you all lower down and sink
We'll
to the
hop
sea.
into the diving bell.
And you all feel the like warmth in this ocean. And for this far out, the waves are crashing. I mean, it's the middle of the ocean. And the water is unexpectedly warm as you are lowered in. You open your eyes, and it's dark. And as you drop a good 2,000 feet to ocean floor.
I am back. What did I miss?
You all
we're
are at
in the
bottom of
diving
ocean.
bell.
And you all,
Most people are descending in the diving bells. I think Morgana and Zankiri and the undead are just diving in there Atlantean style.
Prepare for Titanfall.
You'll sink down and you see the location that he described. It appears to be some sort of circle-like cap to the building. Well, I can't say I know how to open it, but there's got to be a way. We could penetrate it with divination for a time, but not sure about the getting in. Look around for any switches. And
Well,
be wary of any wildlife. I don't want to really get in a tussle with anything before we even get in.
I'm gonna punch a shark.
I was about to ask if anyone else could see any more than the 7 pixels on my screen.
Sorry,
It's
no.
not a very high res.
Just zoom out.
This
and
this
there's
looks like you saw it on Google Images. Open the thing on Google Images and save that rather than opening the actual picture.
I'll be honest, I only got 6 pixels, Dom. I'm shocked you got 7.
Damn, y'all!
It's on loan
It's
for
one
me.
map!
Zonkiri will be casting Detect Magic and searching for any sort of magical switches or flips or.
Oh, give me an investigation check at advantage then.
What he means by detect magic is detect pixels.
Ruin him.
1 point of force damage.
Ruin him, John.
I need to get an upgrade mechanically that gives me fucking dark vision so I can abuse this super sight in dark places.
I will say, Morgan,
Pixel
as you're
vision.
going down, you could zoom in and see the floor because it is a faint bioluminescence down here. These like coral and anemone. You could zoomed in and you could see the floor and like, huh, that's cool. This is before reeling in the
Make
binoculars.
sure nothing's down there waiting for us from what I can see at least.
All right, so
With a 16.
okay.
Was there something you wanted to do in preparation, Karen?
I was gonna ask everyone. I prepared a spell, but I'm not sure how much it would count for finding a secret entrance. I took find traps.
I mean, if the door's secret spell is trapped.
Did you really?
Yeah, I took find traps. What'd you take?
It's something useful, like
Oof.
True Strike.
Yeah. Ha!
Shade.
Fucking ow!
Shade of the utmost degree. Fuck the eclipse. That's the most shade that's happened tonight.
What happened?
I think the most shade that's happened tonight is the sun being blocked out by these 6 pixels.
The joke's old!
Rule of threes, Dom. You've overstepped your bounds.
I still think it's funny, so I don't care.
With a
I
16.
agree with Dom.
Well, since I'm being bullied, can I switch you for enhance ability?
With a
No.
16.
With a 16.
suffer.
Shut up! With a 16. Zunkiri, you do find a what appears to be a circle, some sort of magical sensor that has been grown over by vegetation. And you pick up a few others that are around, just overgrown. Upon like pushing them aside so as to not trigger them and just kind of examine them, they seem like they're just pressure sensors, more or less. As long as you like put your hand on one, you would activate it. And you see 2 others for a total of 3 hidden around in overgrowths. And this.
All right, I found a couple of pressure plates. Looks like though they can be used to open up some sort of chamber. Someone else might want to check to make sure they're not booby trapped.
I'll check if that's okay.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh, it's an investigation.
If I can, I'll give assistance.
Yep.
Oh, I
advantage then.
didn't
I actually
Karen
don't-
just say he has fine traps?
He did.
Perhaps you can go fuck yourself.
This is more useful. Damn. So yeah, give me investigation advantage, Silver, as Indira's helping.
No.
check for
Keep
traps.
trash talking
I
together.
don't have proficiency, so if someone else does, mine is just a +4. If anyone else, I'll just do it.
Oh.
Yay!
And lo behold, you trash talk yourself, you get good rolls.
And what a shame that there is no traps to be spoken of here. It just seems that you need to like nuclear key style. You have to touch all 3 sensors at the same time to open it.
And we'll do so.
Yeah. So you all go in 1, 2, 3. They all flash. They like hold for a second, and then they register that the others were pressed, and then the light fully comes on. This deep red color fills the outside of the spell circle that you touched, and trails down these like stone pieces that litter around it, down, and the circle you all are standing on also lights up and begins to turn. You hear the sound of stone on stone grinding as it starts to open up below you.
If that thing was pressured, would this actually turn into like a flush of a toilet? We're gonna get sucked in.
And you start to feel as you say that, you feel the current begin to suck in as that central ring opens up quicker than you imagined, and the water gets sucked in.
That will go first.
You really don't. You'd have to make a strength save to avoid being pulled in at this point. Just. And I will.
Did I hear a strength save?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, hold on, real quick. Does it close when we step off?
No.
And how big is the opening?
You see how big that circle is?
Which one? They're like
Both. It's
On
like
map.
they open incrementally. They're slowly opening until that. Let me just grab my ruler and point out until this ring is the edge of the opening.
Okay. Wanted to know if maybe we could plug it with the diving bell to see if
Oh no.
we keep some air in there.
No, it's far too big. And it does seem like there's some sort of stone that has overgrowth of this dust and ground vegetation. And you will fall in, and Connor's doing one last minute check to make sure the dynamic lighting and everything for the dungeon is set up.
Come on, 10 pixels.
Besides, Connor, don't you have work in the morning? How longer do you have?
Not much. I don't actually have work in the morning. I'll probably still only go to like 11:15 just for habit forming.
Okay.
My God, are those?
I only see 1 pixel, and it's black.
You have...
Lower left.
Sorry, old man. That's just your vision going.
There you go.
there we are.
So, I'll go ahead and erase Kira.
Oh God, the lag's here. Fuck.
Oh no, Katira died.
Is it really?
I got first dibs on her stuff.
God damn it.
Okay, are we waterlogged in here, or are we dry now?
You are floating in water.
My input is waterlogged, is what it is.
Which means our movement speed is cut in half.
Question.
Yes.
No.
Do you have me as emitting light?
I don't think so.
The lantern.
So.
So.
Sure. How much light does that put off?
60/60.
60 bright, 60 low?
Yep.
Okay.
Also, Connor, if you want to make note.
Oh, you should have your 120 already built into your... Where the fuck are... Oh, there you are.
Nope, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Oh, so we're just in a hallway.
You're in a small room, yes. And there's a door right in front of you.
I heard you like always.
Ooh, door.
Door.
There is... this looks like it's the... There's a symbol in the middle of a sword with a white blade and a large red gem drawn on at the hilt in the crossguard.
Wait a minute. That's not actually here, is it?
Mm-hmm. You all can make me... It looks like a symbol of some sort. You all can make me history, religion, or arcana checks to try and identify what it is. Different results for each.
What flavor of zero do I want to have?
History, arcana, and religion. That does it. Dat, you identify... I think we got it. I think, folks, Karen doesn't got it.
Karen, you got to leave the chat while we're explaining this.
Yeah, if you don't mind... Those of you with history identify it as very old. It's definitely the identifier of wherever you all are in. It identifies this building, implying that this was not a like black site. This is somewhere some people knew of, and this is like a logo. Those with religion identify it as a holy symbol to a god. Ooh, got really good. That you would. I'll ask. How much does God? How much of gods does that know? Does he know of any?
I mean, it would be like I want to say just slightly above average considering his
I see
role.
no gods up
Right.
here.
Well,
Except for
I want to
me.
also say that if that's never once been concerned about the divine, he doesn't immediately get the name beamed to his brain.
That yes,
But
he's
I'll give you as
hypersensitive.
much as he would have cared to know about. You get as much as you can get.
That's fair.
So I think you would at least know of that there exist courts, like pantheons for each of the 5 elements and their greater
Yep.
deities. This strikes you as someone in Inkaris' court, the court of the sun. You think it's oddly fitting with a solar eclipse that just happened. And you know there's some lava deity, some god who you think has this symbol, but you can't place their name.
You will recount this information to the party.
Karen, you're religiously trained. You can piggyback off of his, and you find out that it's true.
Oh, thank you for my 6.
No, you're just fixing his natural 20.
Sure.
It reminds you of the name Maggir. She's a goddess of destruction.
Oh fuck, that's the lightsaber.
It is Arcana, Light, and War domains.
That's the fucking lightsaber.
Goddess of ruin, and just utterly
Anything you
destroys
want to
things.
share with the class, Domothy?
Well,
Not evil,
It
though,
seems
is the interesting thing. Is that she's a
fun.
lawful neutral deity. And the door in front of you seems unlocked, should you choose to open it.
Open the door.
What do those of us with Arcana get?
Oh, right. Arcana, you see that the layout and design of this. It's, to most people, just looks like it's particularly symmetrical and it's got a mosaic design. To those of you with Arcana, especially Silver, because of that 27, there appears to be... It's designed like somebody was drawing a spell circle on the store and then put a logo over it.
I'm back. What I miss?
The layout of this logo on the store reminds you a lot of somebody drawing a spell circle and then put a logo over it. Or
No.
there's this design in it that reminds you of like basic principles of magic, like textbook magic. And you can almost swear in some of the way the mosaic's assembled, you can almost see the outline of runes just drawn in the negative space.
Interesting.
And you get, and this might be a trap. This might be a spell waiting to go off when it's opened.
I suggest everyone be careful at that door. I think it might be booby-trapped. There's some sort of sigils hidden amongst that logo.
Yeah, we'll volunteer to open it then.
Hold on, is my detect magic still going?
Yeah, I think so. How long does it go?
I don't
Oh,
know.
it should still be up. You definitely do see a what would it? I think it's abjuration is this glyph of warding.
Yes.
It is something similar. It is a sensor that's waiting to go off when it's broken, if not otherwise turned off. You get the feeling there may be an off switch because this looks like it's not a one and done. It looks like it's an alarm system. And following that the door up top was locked and you didn't hear any alarms and it was very easy to get in, you feel like if you open this door without disarming it, then the alarms will go off. So, you look around the room, I'm assuming. It is
Yes.
covered in the like seafloor debris. It's just kind of settling after a minute. And
Is the door above us still open?
it is. And
All right.
there's nothing else magical in the room besides that sigil.
So this might be some sort of airlock. It's possible we need to close the door above before we can open this one, and that is definitely some sort of glyph on there. There might be a switch around here to disable it. If not, Silver and I can probably disarm it with some arcana.
The Lord steps up and goes, "You know, I could also volunteer." He seems
Oh.
eager to try and use his bracelet.
How gracious of you to stand next to the thing that very well may explode.
Touche. Transmutes it into a crystal sphere. Perhaps you would like a test run of the object and material?
I prefer leaving experimentation to when we are not standing next to an explosive rune.
Very well.
Perhaps later.
I'll defer to your judgment in this case, then. So, how are you wanting to go about opening this door?
I think Dad's looking for something.
Dad's looking for, if it's not a magical, some sort of switch or something to disable it.
You're scurrying over the debris, and you're kind of like skittering up the wall with the water, kind of keeping it afloat.
Skirt.
And what's that? An 18, right? You don't have
Yeah.
advantage. All right. You make your way to the top and look around for a little bit, and you see that there's a small rock that you think would have been picked up by the vacuum, but just remained in place.
Okay.
It slides over, and there's a button hidden
Press
underneath
the
it.
button.
Click. Zzz. And you see Zonkiri, the glyph deactivates. And you hear just the stone grinding as it shifts whatever mechanisms it has inside to trigger the don't trigger part. And it's off for now.
All right, well, that takes care of that. Good work, Dad.
Yay! Helpful.
So, I will go ahead and move. If Roll20 will let me move that door. Move square by square, please. Like trace out your steps. Yeah. Click. That as you step into the center of the room. A pressure plate drops for a second, and the room gets warm, like uncomfortably warm. And it seems to be climbing. The water is starting to get hot. And the pressure plate rises back on.
Does Uncarry sense magic anywhere?
I'll say you know enough that he triggered a pressure plate which started a physical mechanism. You're smart enough to recognize that it's a trap that is mundane. You know that this is over a magma flow. Give me a... I think I just said everything you needed to know. You have a feeling that when on that pressure plate has... there's probably a magma flow bordering the walls on the other side. And who knows where that cuts in and out. Just adding like a boiler now.
All right. Dad, you might want to pry open that pressure plate, see if you can deactivate whatever you just set off.
Oh, okay.
Or it's going to get very hot in here very
Right.
quickly.
Give me a strength check to pry up the floor.
Can I get some advantage with an ancient hook tool used crowbar?
Hmm, I think so. I think you have. I thought you had a burglar's kit anyway.
No.
Okay. Maybe I was thinking
Sure,
of Cantor.
the crowbar would help you underwater.
Either way.
So
Strength check?
yeah, we'll go with an advantage because either you or somebody else will help you.
Oink.
Ooh.
Karen, what you doing, buddy?
Ignore me.
You might want to do. You might want to toggle talk to myself then.
It is.
It's not.
Oh. I don't fucking know then.
Yeah, I think you're talking to GM.
Whatever. I'll fuck with it later.
That command just / instead of period.
Does
And
that
it
get
did
it?
period, did it?
19?
With a 19, you break off a corner of it and you see the mechanism down below, and the heat immediately travels up to you because there is an active flow below here that is lifted a gauge up, and you can. It looks like if you push down the shutter, it'll like there is a piece of stone that was blocking this flow, and when it was lifted, it started to flow out again and fill the area. You think you could push it back down and it would cut the flow, it would stay the same temperature now, and it wouldn't get any hotter. So you do so. And the flow comes to a stop. You put the broken corner you pried off back in place. Mark out where the plate is so nobody else steps on it. And you probably also disarm the trap just by taking out a few gears so it doesn't fire again. And the next door is unlocked and unsigiled. You all can go ahead and open it. Karen, what's your passive perception?
17.
You hear some movement on the other end.
I tell the party.
All right. Suggest we take up a good defensible position when we open that door. Could be a security measure on the other side.
Zomboys?
So are you opening it?
Yeah, where are your undead? Yeah.
I generally didn't put them on the map because I didn't want to have to be moving like 5 things around all the time.
The plight of the summoner build.
Let me know when you open the door.
I would recommend everyone getting in, at least in the airlock.
This room you saw had just a little bit of water in it, but is mostly there is. If you close the door, there was probably a little pocket of air that existed here before. So there might be some dry rooms that you could find.
Norman?
Yeah,
I'm holding
Got
the
any-
dynamic lighting door, so but the noble is with you.
I'm a ranged character. I'm perfectly fine where I'm at.
This door might
But what
close.
happened if?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yoink. Far away from St. Gary's I can get.
And then you open the next one.
Open the door.
And as predicted, the other one begins to close to form this airlock transition. And
Oh shit.
turning to look at you, a dry room as the water spills out. 2 large automata with these red gems sit around them. Not the same one that the noble has, but they turn, fire spewing out of what would be like a rhino's horn spot.
Do they seem similar to the Durgar ones from way back when?
They seem like a mindless automata, and if that's similar about them.
Well, yeah, okay.
I don't know what you're looking for.
Design.
They are not like stone defenders.
Okay.
They seem like they're similarly chunky automata, but they are not stone defenders nor designed by the dwarves, it seems.
Okay.
And
Morgana, you go left, you go right, I'll go left.
we will pick up next week as you all roll initiative.
Hey, do we level up?
No.
Oh.
And initiative. Back to my knife. I forgot to clear the null map.
Initiative at
Hmm.
advantage. Okay, so 20.23.
Let me level so I get advantage stuff.
No.
Yeah, give level.
Gib.
Gib
No.
level.
Gib level.
We've
Gib
been
level.
at level 6 for like 7 sessions.
That is not true at all.
It's more like 4, but
Big difference
That's almost
there.
cutting it in
How
half.
dare you?
By the way, there's the World Anvil link to that goddess I was telling you about. And that's where we're going to wrap it up as you all finish rolling initiative. I am looking forward to next week. I will see you then for our 19th session, because this one was actually 18th, because I looked it up.
Does the wizard